Shooting Scoot, the Flames of War Team Yankee Federation Nation Nam and Great War podcast that tries to make sense of the weird and wonderful world of 15mm wargaming with our tongues firm in our cheeks, our pants flat to the ground, and our dice, more often than not, failing to shoot and scoot every episode. We invite you to join us on many hobby misadventures on Facebook and on the blog at breakthroughassault.co.uk, and to shop online at Battlefield Hobbies because Hammy decided his Audi was the descendant of a Schwimmwagen and then decided to go swimming, but failed the cross-check. Hammy's Audi decided to go through 2 foot of water during the recent flooding. Because he thought it was a Schwimmwagen, but it wasn't.
Oh, no, it's too expensive. An Audi is not as expensive as Schwimmwagen is.
He walked in with a command card, but the river didn't seem to care. If nice dice are your advice, be sure to check out Dice of War, our dice sponsor here at Shoot and Scoot. And if you need bunkers to bust, autobahns to go too fast on, then also head over to frontlineterrain.square.site, our awesome terrain sponsor.
Correct.
If you would like to contribute to this continued failed cross-check of a podcast, you can also become a Patreon supporter by following the link on the Breakthrough Assault blog. Pay £1 a month for your chance to also become internet famous. Mm-hmm. I'm Eddie Fez Turner, broadcasting from somewhere in the south of England, and I'm joined by my co-host Duncan. This Nazi watch was only following orders. Gosling.
It's very accurate. It makes a lovely little rattling noise.
And Lee, soon to be deployed overseas, Parnell.
Deployed overseas, yeah. Off to the Middle East. It's a good time to go to the Middle East right now.
Yeah.
You're our secret weapon, Lee. We're all counting on you.
Yeah. You're going to negotiate them down. He's going to go meet Biden. Because no one else will.
GCHQ have misunderstood when you said you had Israeli reinforcements. He's got 300 M60s.
I've got Pariah. Oh, what?
Oh, but they're all 15 mil. Welcome to episode 99, the one where we don't make it to 100. Lee, what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we will be doing Internet Famous. We'll say hello to our new patrons. We'll then be doing Faces Spaces, about what we've been painting. We'll then be going to News on the Front, to about what we've been playing, and including our rundown of the Nationals, where he's been, I'd say recently, but actually it's quite a while.
It's quite a while ago. I played some games, I think.
Yeah, we wouldn't shut up about it, so I mean, it's probably best to go over it.
ETC.
I could feel the PTSD scars being peeled off now as I.
Great. We're going to do not answers because we have quite a backlog of not answers, and then we'll do events, and then we'll shoot and scoot. So, Eddie, do you want to say hello to our new patrons?
I do. I want to have a big shout out, thank you to our existing patrons who have been providing us with many a penny to fund the software behind this, which makes our life very much easier and saves the fate befalling us of other podcasts who have lost sections of their podcast. Yes, that was tragic. So thankfully we don't run the risk of that as much, he says.
Have we been sabotaging competing wargame podcasts?
No, not sabotaging. Eddie's just helping, quote unquote.
Yeah. I'm providing assistance to their significantly more popular podcast because their game has a larger following.
Because it's made by a company that rhymes with Haynes Gert Shop. Yeah.
No, it's called Warhamster. Is that right?
No. Oh yeah, they changed their name, didn't they? Stupid Games Workshop.
Games Workshop doesn't exist anymore.
It's good enough for Elon Musk. It's good enough.
It's now
good enough for Warhammer.
The hobby shop.
God.
It's called Warhammer, but they don't sell any Warhammer.
No,
because Warhammer doesn't exist apart from.
Correct. It's all right. They've taken a FTSE 250 company and they're just going to drill it into the ground like Musk did with X or Twitter or whatever the hell it's called now.
You've got to dead name it so that Elon Musk knows how it feels. Bit of a segue. I want to say thank you to
so 8 minutes 46 seconds derailed.
Our new patrons. Alex, the Egyptian god of deserts. Alex, the Egyptian god of deserts, storms, disorder, violence, and foreigners in disguise. Self. I see. You add one letter.
What?
You add.
Are you high?
I think I'm taking too much. I misread it, and I thought, "Oh, cool." The guy's name is Alex Seth.
And Seth painted a wall or something. And
Seth being the Egyptian god of desert storms, disorder, violence, and foreigners in disguise.
I don't think you should Google things anymore, Eddie.
No, I didn't know. I knew that already. So I thought that's quite cool. Yes, I did. Don't ask why.
So,
So
who's got Desert Shield?
exactly. So
Got Desert Storm. What's Desert Shield?
Desert Strike, tiny little helicopter.
Oh yeah, that would have been better. The Americans needed to do that instead.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
got
None of this shielding nonsense.
I've got my SNES.
SNES.
Mega Drive for Life.
Yeah.
The ultimate showdown. This is why we don't reach 100. We're falling out fighting about 90s video game
16-bit consoles. Yeah.
Oh, triggered.
Yeah. Someone I spoke to the other day didn't know what Street Fighter was. I was actually confused.
Is it that guy parked his car on the dockside going, this looks like a safe place to park?
No. No.
Hugh Garson.
Not again. Yorkin. I would also like to say a big thank you to Martin D.B. Cooper.
There's a reference.
Yeah.
If you got that much money, you could have done more than just the £1, but that's fine. That's fine.
DB Cooper.
Yeah, the guy who jumped out of the plane.
Oh, 77.
Oh my god!
Because 77s have little ramps in the tail because the CIA
up.
wants to use them for covert parachuting.
Mhm.
This guy basically did covert parachuting with bad money.
And disappeared forever.
So jump into a thunderstorm is a really bad idea.
If at
I
first you
definitely
don't,
survived.
if at first you don't succeed, parachuting is not for you. And I also say a big thank you to Nigel. Hope I'm not related to Alex Cox.
Yeah, you don't want that.
You don't want. No one wants to be related to Alex Cox. I would change your name. That's
I would as well.
legal
Just on the
advice.
safe side.
Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
In case, unless you are Alex Cox, in which case
Don't change it. But change it to Doctor. And he can be Dr. Cox.
And my personal favourite is I want to say a big thank you to Cattle Bruiser, who is the #1 most wanted by Petter list.
Yeah. Is it James Herriot?
I don't know.
Is he just uppercutting cows in the bum?
The username Cattle Bruiser. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a story there, and I don't know if I want to hear it.
Cow thumping? There's cow tipping. You can do cow tipping, can't you?
There is cow tipping, yes.
Yeah, I guess it depends whereupon the bruises are located upon the cow as to what the answer
Internally.
Wow. That paints a picture.
Yeah.
We made it to 99 episodes with our clean rating.
They'll never get me for that. Ermintrude's taken a hell of a beating.
Oh. Well, there we go. I hope our new patrons are happy and satisfied and have joined
Apart
us.
from Cattle Bruiser.
Apart from Cattle Bruiser. A satisfied cattle bruiser.
Yeah, that's not what's required.
Several crimes against nature.
You can now join the likes of Cattle Bruiser on Discord. I think it's Discord. Could be wrong.
Oh my god! Don't start a separate channel. I don't want to go in there. It's gonna be like one of those like curtained off parts of a museum where they warn you about going in there.
But the actual GCHQ starts.
Yeah.
Well, you distraction. So you can join us in Discord on the Paint and Chat in the evenings. Get the latest episode ahead of schedule. All that kind of good stuff. Become a patron. Right, and as he says, you get to basically pay for a nice software safety net, so we can not lose half the episode.
Yeah, and Eddie's partial sanity in trying to edit it as well.
Yes, it does make that a lot easier, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that is our internet famous.
Yeah, on to Faces Bases. So, Duncan, what have you been painting?
Nothing. Move on.
Got anything?
No.
Neil Poir.
No. What have I stuck anything together? I repaired some figures for my friend Will, which then led me to buy a Star Wars Legion army.
Is that new?
So
I
that was
thought you
new.
already had that.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah.
So play Legion just as the new game comes out to replace it.
Yeah, exactly. Yesterday's technology tomorrow. That's our motto.
Are they actually bidding it off?
No one
I'm not
knows.
sure. Do they coexist? I have no idea what the plan is for the two games.
Basically, it's just Kathleen Kennedy just milking the Star Wars franchise again for Disney. So,
No, it's Asmodee doing that for them.
well, she can't be innocent in this, surely. That's her whole reason for being.
Surely
She's
I'm
a-
serious.
She's the
Stop calling me
Suella Braverman of Disney. But no, I
This is a
no,
little harsh, to be honest.
Just
What, Suella
Braverman.
yeah, yeah. She didn't have to hire Ron Howard. Can you imagine if he just turns up and goes, "I know nothing about immigration. That's fine. Come in." No, I haven't really put anything together. I'm trying to think if I did. No. Even for my Warfare army, I haven't. I've got a couple of repairs to do, so I'll need to get some more super glue for that. But no, nothing meaningfully hobby wise.
Oh, well. There's a tip for the books. Okay. So I guess it'll be me next then.
Yes, please.
Lighting content, yeah.
No, it caught me somewhat off guard. So can't remember if I finished off the show acts by the time of the last episode. But I did that platoon of show acts, so it's Raised Centurions using a new Battlefront kit. And then to help Quinton out, one of our patrons who's coming over from Canada for the warfare, and he was trying to borrow an army, and I said, yeah, I can do that. And he said, oh, I need a bunch of half tracks. I can't do that, but don't let that stop you. I'll try and work out, I'll get some built up for you. So I built and painted 7 of the 250 short chassis half tracks, and then a platoon of 4 of the transport ones, 251s,
Yeah.
and then 6 of the flamethrower 251s. I just built a whole more to paint up eventually, but then I changed plans because I got the Anzac bug.
Oh god.
And so I've drained Wayland of all the labs apparently in the UK, because everyone's complaining about not being able to get labs in the UK, which might be my fault.
It's definitely your fault.
3
Yeah.
boxes of them.
Did you just put like when I was 17, when I was 17 song on repeat, and then got far too Anzacian?
What, when I was 17 I drank some very good beer? That one.
No, I know you're talking about the Vietnam song,
The Vietnam one about the guys in their bush hats.
Yeah.
Oh.
Evidently
It's not quite as cheerful as that.
I think the answer is no. It's that. Moving on.
Yeah. So I'll give you a good reason to paint up all the leopards I've had since the leopard kit came out. PSC leopard kit came out. Well, I've just been sitting waiting for me to get around to doing, so I just built them. So I built Lavs, M113s, M1A1s, and leopards all ready to go. Because I have a target now, trying to get these done by January 20th, as we'll discuss later.
Fun.
Possibly, we'll see if we actually do it, but that's my aim. If we go or not, at least they'll be done.
Yeah.
So who was it out of you two that was against the Aussies being in Team Yankee World at all?
That'd be me, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Was it?
I've already gone on SoundCloud and deleted the episode where we talked about the original Free Nation books.
Oh, I see.
No, and the Anzacs should not be in the European theatre for Team Yankee. It does not mean they shouldn't be in Team Yankee.
I'm not judging.
Just near Pacific theatre. I'm just getting ahead of the game for when Pacific comes to Team Yankee.
It's just the combined strength of all the university bar staff getting together. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's just a sweet, sweet lure of Anzacs and M1A1s in a decent formation.
Who are you? You've suddenly gone all power gaming out in a decent formation.
Well, it's not like power gaming formation. It's not like the French leaf blower list I came up with, which sickened even me. But
or Eddie's new toys. Segway.
Terrain.
Eddie, what have you been doing?
Pull up. What have I been doing? Yeah, I may have created the French Canadian list, which is French with Canadians. So I might just put the poutine.
It's the Quebec. It's the Quebec list.
The Quebecians. Yeah. I got sort of excited by the little idea of the warthog styled Jeeps, the VPLs. What are they? Visible Panty Lines? No, EBLs. And then I realised that if you put them together, the entire formation of, is it 20? 20 of them? 24? Yeah, 23. I think it's 20. You get 23 of these little missile-toting jeeps with machine guns for less than 30 points. And I went, actually, I've got about 70 points worth of Canadians already, and they're both NATO forces. So if I combine them together, that's a 100-point list. And that's pretty nice when you have a Canadian mech company with Information Leopard 2s now. Thank you very much for your one-drop reserve. And then 20 of these missile-toting MG jeeps driving around, causing it with Scout and Spearhead, causing absolute carnage. And don't forget that at 100 points, it has six ADATs as well.
So, how many machine guns does it have? Is it
Well,
lots?
every Jeep has a machine gun.
Oh yeah, that's problematic for me.
A blast missile.
And a missile.
Or an
move.
Eric's if you want to upgrade them.
No, I think the Eric's is a red herring. I think it's all about the moving fire.
Not even for one ambush unit?
No, because you've got the Milans.
Yeah, and you're doing the little, you're doing the pure VBL one that's just got the two.
Yeah, the VBL Escadron d'Éclairage.
Yeah, it's probably better for the ones in your AMX 10 RC one. We get 3 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It says 10 platoons of 2. So that's your 20. And then there's 3 Milan 2 wielding ones, which is the ambush platoon. Along with 2 mech platoons for Canadians with their Charlie Gs, mortars, HMGs, and 113s. 4 mortars, half tracks, the M125s. 4 Leopard 2s, which is your 43-point reserve. And then to make the formation, if you're doing 100 points, you take 6 ADATs. And if you're doing less than 100 points, i.e. 95 points, you take 4 ADATs. And then you just go, I don't know if it'll do any good because the VPLs are only range 16. And terrible courage. And then platoons of 2.
Are they just Jeep saves as well?
They're armored 1.
Armored.
They're armored 1?
Yep.
Oh, that's even more problematic. What are my 11-year-old Iranian children going to
do? Die in
droves, yeah.
In droves, yeah.
In droves, you say?
Hit 4, armor 1, side of 0. They've all got a rate of fire 3 machine gun. And they've all got...
This is problematic.
They're all Scout and Spearhead as well, with thermal imaging. And amphibious. I didn't realise they're amphibious.
So... Are they kind of like a shrimp wagon?
I've got an army of shrimp wagons.
Armoured shrimp wagons.
Armoured shrimp wagons with anti-tank missiles.
How many points are they?
They are a point a tank.
3 points for the unit. Brilliant.
Yeah, 3 points for the unit.
Wagon. Yep.
Or a point each with a 4 cross.
Same as an unarmoured shrimp wagon. Great.
They've got 4 up cross for a wheeled vehicle. That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what Phil was on that day.
That goes. I mean, cross here makes that 3+.
Don't forget you have to do a cross check in water though as well.
Yeah, but you just go cross here and you're like, okay, 3+.
1 in 3 Jeep sink.
No, they just stop. They don't sink.
I know.
I've got 20 of them. 20. Or you just drive one of them up and then use the spearhead bubble to deploy the other ones the other side of the river.
Yeah.
And then you just have a huge passive. Oh, it's going to be so silly. So silly.
So what are you going to paint them as, though? Like, what colour are you going to do the NATO camera scheme?
NATO colour schemes. Or maybe...
I thought you were going to go like Halo and paint them like...
I was very tempted. But...
paint them like World War I French tanks.
I was going to do I might do the command platoon as Halo. Just leave them green. With a bit of a highlighted dry brush, like a Halo homage rather than just full on Warthog. But we'll see. They arrived. There's 6 blisters of the things.
You're suffering Passage regret.
No, it's fine. It's just going to be a lot of sticking the wheels on.
Passage regret.
20, 23.
Are they not
No.
Modern ones where their wheels are part of the body.
Nope.
No.
That's a shame. Because they started doing that, didn't they? Well, ago. They actually,
Yep.
That's 92 15mm wheels I've got to stick together.
the wheel on the VBL goes round and round.
And then falls off.
And then falls
Yeah,
off
falls
because
Terrible. Yeah.
it's supposed to be stuck together.
Yeah.
So that's the not building, but that's the accumulating for next year. And I've been building my warfare list, which is in 2 days' time, which is fun. Which is I don't think I've talked about it, have I, to people, to the world?
Not really. We haven't had,
No. Well, it links into what we've done next. So it is SS King Tigers. Which is formed of the HQ platoon of 1 King Tiger, a platoon of 2 King Tigers, another platoon of 3 King Tigers, and that's the formation. And then in support of that, I have 3 250 SKF SS Scout cars, boop, boop, with the one with machine gun and 2 of the 2cm guns, which are really cool actually. Now I've put the airbrushed the tricolour camo on them, and they look really cool. I'm getting excited about those.
I was just looking at the photo you put up. Yeah, they look very smart.
And for artillery, I thought, why not take a Stern Tiger?
I mean, I can think of many reasons why not to take a Stern Tiger.
Because
yes.
I was thinking I can negate most people's artillery by having a almost fully top armor 2 list.
This is true. Yep.
Infantry don't really scare me, and I don't really care about concealment. So if I end up playing on an open board with minimal terrain, then that's good for me. So I can now just pop my minimum front armor 15 army in the open.
And most goes bing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh, how many times are you wishing, I wish I had concealment to put... No, I don't care about concealment. In fact, I'd much rather play on a billiard table.
Yes. Armour will be my armour.
Yes.
There's not many times I'd advocate for taking a free platoon formation, but this might just be one of them.
It's just silly. It's going to be quick games, which is good because it's at Warfare, which means I get more time to go look around the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a very much a rock paper scissors list. So if you turn up with hordes of Hellcats, Duncan, it's got various weaknesses. The main thing really was I thought it'd be fun to see what the smallest army I could make for 111 points.
It's not the smallest, surely.
No, it's not the smallest.
See,
but it's the smallest with artillery and scout recce. So
you're trying to say this is a well-rounded list, then?
I mean, it has everything apart from infantry.
Infantry, yeah, and anti-aircraft.
But that's why I thought the Sturm Tiger was good, because it's like you need infantry for clearing out of buildings. Well, if you have a Sturm Tiger, you can just remove the building.
As long as you can range in on your one attempt.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd rather be lucky than good any time of the year. So, but we played a game against Dunk, and we can talk about that in a bit. So I built paint those. I've built a squat biker for my Necromunda gang.
Bike Groove.
It looks very cool. With massive trike, anti-grav trike. It's huge. It's ridiculous. It's going to be terrible in Necromunda because it makes him such a bigger model to shoot in true line-of-sight game. So it's a all-round negative, which is fantastic. And there was one other thing. I've started building on Halloween. I built my Blood Bowl. The Shambling Undead Blood Bowl team, which is the ones with all the pumpkin heads. I don't think it is the Shambling Undead. I think it's the wrong one.
I know the one you means. Yeah,
but they've all got pumpkin heads and werewolves and stuff. I built those
jack-o'-lanterns.
Jack-o'-lanterns. Yeah. Which was fun. Which actually was an anniversary present from the lovely Tacey.
We must get some Blood Bowl. I know we keep saying that, but we need to do some Blood Bowl.
Yeah. I've got my Seattle Seahawks painted a human team that I can troll Mike with as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, Luke's just got a Snotling team as well.
Oh, God.
Yep. 2 trolls, 2 pump wagons.
I thought goblins were bad.
No, these are awful. Genuinely awful.
It's all about the dwarf passing game for me.
Oh, my God.
And then
the mead?
Passing the buck.
Yeah.
And then, the rest has been sorting through things and getting stuff put away and realizing that, oh god, I've got this, I've got that, I've got that, and then realizing that it's the 80th anniversary D-Day game next year, and
Yes,
I always run out of the 29th Infantry Division boat sections, because I got the old one that had 3 in, and 3 just isn't enough.
Do you just need engineering type figures?
No, it's the actual, because they had the assault vests. The models are really nice.
Oh no, I've got them. That's what I'm saying. I use them for my engineers.
Oh,
so I bought 2 boxes of them. That's what I'm saying. If you just need the, need infantry men, I've got some of them knocking around. I've probably got half a box knocking around.
I mean, if you have and you're not using them, I'll take them to bulk out the formation. I did buy one of the remaining boxes because there are actually, well, from what I can tell, they're out of print. All the D-Day stuff is no longer on the web store.
Nope.
Which means, to me, says they're taking it out of the production cycle. So I bought one of the remaining boxes with 2 boat platoons and the support weapons in, to give me 5 total, which should be good for D-Day, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll dig them out. I'm not doing anything. My engineer company's complete, so I'm not going to do anything.
Nice. Yeah, no, that'd be great, because I've got some spare models from the previous batch as well, so I can put.
Have you got like bazookas and things? Because I don't know if I've got special weapons and stuff. So
no, I've got those I can squeeze in, and then that'd be awesome. Then we have a full-on wave after wave human, a Passage level assault.
No, it's not Passage level.
I think, and some dwarves. There you go, for Frostgrave. Oh, and some Tyranids. I've actually done quite a bit, but in true typical Fez fashion, I've done quite a bit, but none of it's finished. So
no, it's finished. It's all for random stuff.
It's all tabletop-ish done, maybe. But yeah, getting things over the line is the story of my life. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Faces, Spaces, something and something. Who's played some games?
We've played some games.
We've all played games for once.
As I say, what's got 2 thumbs and played a game?
These guys. Lee goes first. Lee goes first.
Well, I think we're doing chronological this. You should really talk about Nationals first.
Oh yeah. So I went to Nationals and I took my Italians as a last hurrah before the supposed nerfing from dynamic points. Trigger warning. Dear. I actually went. I thought I'd do pretty. I've played lots of this army. I should do pretty. I think I do pretty well. I'm looking forward to trying my best to place. So I tried to get lots of sleep the night before. Booked a hotel room with Sid, to cut down costs. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have an early night and try my best and be really keyed up for getting these guys. Trying my best to place at the UK Nationals up at Battlefield Hobbies. Turned up. First game was against Rex King, who had a Soviet KV-1 BA-10 Horde of Doom, and Battlefront had provided Mark, who was running the tournament, Mr. Goddard, with the preview mission pack, revised missions, which I hadn't had time to read. And we just went. Rex went. Well, let's use those. I said, "Oh, okay, that's fine. Just kind of have a go. Neither of us had read them. We'd have a practice and do it." And it was a really cool mission with 2 objectives in the middle, because we're both attacking. So the 2 objectives are in no man's land. They don't go live till turn 6. You're playing lengthways down the board. It was really good mission. I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately. But we ended up. I mean, hands up, it's my own fault. I'm too used to playing the ETC games, which have 3.5 hours. So this was a 2.5 hour bound game. So I wasn't pushing as hard as I should have to get turns completed. And I was excited and we're talking, it's game 1. And so basically, it was all before we knew it. We only just kind of got to turn 5 when it was a case of, all right, that's it. You've got 15 minutes left. And it was like, because Rex got on the objective straight away in turn 1. So then it was a case of trying to whistle off what I could before pushing forward, because there's no point doing the Hail Mary, not the Hail Mary, but pushing your assaults just to be assaulted off before the objectives go live. You're better timing it to do it when they are live to win the game.
Yeah.
So ended up only playing that one turn of turn 6, and to try as I might with a combination of 3 separate assaulting platoons, one after the other, there was still a single team that was 3 inches and 3/4 within the objective. So by a quarter of an inch, he was still contesting to save me from winning after I finished my assaults.
Oh dear.
Which was unfortunate to say the least, because then it was a mutual loss. So I started off with mutual loss. I hadn't killed an entire platoon, even though I'd reduced about 4 or 5 of them down to single stands, but they were fearless. So I was just making saves. So I ended up getting a single point for my first game, despite being a quarter of an inch away from winning it.
That's the margins.
Yeah. So yeah, hand up. I should have pushed more to get more turns in, and it could kind of spiral, incentivize that maybe we should have a minimum term limit to games where it's possible. I don't know.
The trouble is you've still only got so much time. It's always going to be time.
Yeah, you still only got so much time. But I mean, even if it's just a case of pick 3 units, because if I had one more turn and killed that one tank, then I've won. So there's a part of me that's like, if it does take 6 turns for the objectives to come live, you should get 6 plus 3 speed turns to actually get a resolution. Because there's too many times where the game is kind of over, but it isn't actually a draw. It's a draw at that instant, but the result was forming, if that makes sense. But that's a discussion for another day. Then I went on to play, because I got 1 point in the first game, I was down the bottom. So I ended up playing a whole load of new players who've come over from Team Yankee and other systems, and got a collection of 5/2s. I think I did a 5/2, a 6. Is it 5/2? I'm going to give 9, isn't it? Should add to, isn't it?
Eddie makes like a Greenlander and goes seal clubbing by the sounds of it.
Basically did, yeah. However, whilst I was doing that, I was dropping the downside of my list is I was dropping too many platoons. One of them, I failed a 5-up last stand with a reroll for the platoon to run off, which gave him the 2 platoons. So okay, that's 7/2.
Did you go submarining, Eddie?
I did. I breached magnificently, which all
Lord.
ended up in the last game against a British tank company. It had no infantry, so it's British tanks with British recce, and it was just 100. It was 100 points of just death coming at me. And I was like, "Oh God, what am I going to do against this? Because they're going to swarm all over my infantry. I haven't got enough guns to defend."
This is like Crusaders, was it, or something?
No, it was Lee's, Sherman's. No, it was Lee Company, Lee Sherman's, and then the British Recce armoured cars.
Okay.
So there was a lot of holes coming at me. So actually, in the new meta of the positions, I swung to defend, and it was like, okay, so I've got deep defense, deep reserves. Well, I'm going to stick all of my L6s in reserve anyway because they can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then my 1 platoon was my ambushing Lancia 90s, some Aventi 90s. That's my tanks. My unarmoured tanks don't count towards it. And I've got my 25 pounders of my infantry on the board and minefields, which he now can't clear. So I was able to shut off half the board, had some very nice buildings. So shut those off with minefields and buildings because he can't go through buildings because he's not an infantry team.
Mm-hmm.
I had a hill which I could crest line behind, which then discounted most of his cover on that side of the board because it was a cornfield and a hedge, so it's all short terrain.
Yeah.
And basically just popped my ambush, shooting, scooted, blitzed. I made the mistake of shooting direct fire my 25 pounders. And really, I learned the lesson there that the 25 pounders in that instance are there for defensive fire. And if they die, you are in a lot of trouble because your infantry all of a sudden don't have any deterrent. And what they should be is veteran gun to ground, sat there not doing anything. Because I shot them once, and then he focused fire on it as he should have done, and killed like 2 stands. And the next turn managed to whittle down another stand, even though they were gone to ground, just through weight of fire. So I had a single gun that passed like 4 last stands to stay on the board. But the guy defeated himself because he gave up and ended up just trying to kill other platoons. So he did take 2 platoons off me, which will come into the final scores. But still, I won from defending the objective. But basically, I missed playing the top 2 tables, which was the American chap who came over, whose name eludes me right now, and Martin Turner from the Gothic Games Club with his Hungarians, who ended up battering all the usual suspects and doing an intense final showdown between the 2 of them with Hungarian cavalry charges going left, right, and centre in some mad swirling melee that took quite a while but got a resolution in the end. And it ended up with Martin being first, the American, is it David?
David, I think it was David, yeah.
David coming second, and then myself coming third. However, had I scored that 1 extra point in any of the other games, I would have jumped first. Because I only came third because of lost platoons in countback. So the extra point would have put me above, would have tied with Martin. It was insanely close, put it that way. It was insanely close.
Quite good, yeah.
Which is good, yeah. But obviously, because the way the 5 games came out, I didn't end up playing the top 2. I just kind of beat everyone else who was below them. So, yeah, interesting. And I do wonder, had game 1 gone differently, had I got the extra couple of points I needed, who would have known? Who knows how it would have gone. But definitely means that I'm doing something right, at least, by taking broken lists. But I just love my L6s. They're just so much fun.
But how did you feel?
I felt really good.
Did you? Oh, I wouldn't have done. I felt unclean.
No, I did, because it was
Carbolic soap.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Through years of being Seal Club myself, I know how to do it and have people still like me. So, and it wasn't the case of going, oh, okay.
Is that the name of your sex tape?
That is the name. I know how to do it and have it, have people still like me. Will you respect me after? No, I won't. I mean, that was the thing. It was a case of, and also it's the nationals, right? So
yeah, I know.
It's not about being a dick with it, but it's about going. If people make a genuine mistake, such as leaving a 2-inch gap in a minefield that's obviously 2 inches, it's not like a couple of millimeters. It's a 2-inch gap in the deployment of their minefield. Then you just drive your spearhead tanks right through it.
Yeah.
And dash down the back and then appear, because that is a genuine mistake. That's not someone, leaving.
That's not rock, paper, scissoring you.
No, exactly. And then you go, right, well, now I'm here, and now I've got L6s that are moving 10 inches, following me 4 inches, and then assaulting 4 inches in turn 1, and you have no defensive fire because those guys are the wrong side of the building and can't see. So there's I'd always help your opponent with the rules, and always help your opponent if there's a declarative thing that they've done. I think I can see him from there. Oh no, you're not supposed to. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, move it further round. There you go. Now you can't see.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Don't wait until the next turn and go, oh, I'm going to shoot you. Oh, you shouldn't be able to. Oh, okay. Well, that's
declare your intent.
Declare your intent, exactly. So, and then teaching people the rulings about how things work, and and then afterwards going back and say, well, had this guy been there, you would have got the defensive fire. You didn't have to shoot. Why were you shooting me? You're just making it easier for you to get hit in return by the things that could kill, that kind of thing. So no, it was good. It was a really good weekend. And also the idea of having a nice quiet night or whatever, complete fallacy. Got absolutely smashed on the Saturday night and was hanging like a dog on the Sunday morning. So
oh dear.
And he still came third. So it just shows.
Still came third. I mean, that's what I mean. That's the thing. It's all about the curry. It's Team England curries. It just helps.
You can't fuel yourself on curry alone, Eddie. Man cannot live by naan bread alone.
Curry and rage,
Yeah,
Add
curry.
add a bay in it with some guts behind it.
Oh, God.
No, it was a really good weekend, and a big thank you to Mark Goddard for running it and organising it, and getting us arranging with Battlefront and getting us the cool alien UFO objectives. German
Yes.
German objective thing. That's pretty good. So that was Nationals.
And we'll talk about your list and dynamic points in a bit then.
Yeah, we will. Or do you want to do it now? Or later? I don't mind.
I thought
we'll
we were going to leave down points for next episode when we had a chance to actually go through them, because I think we looked at how it affects our list without really looking at the bigger picture yet. So it's
Can I? Yeah. Well, spoiler alert: I lose one Lancia. Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm so excited. They're still viable. They're still just going to be little murder. What do we call them? Calzones?
Murder turtles.
No, they weren't murder turtles. That's a Hetzer.
That's the Hetzers. I call them murder turtles.
The Conchinelli or whatever it is. The little
murder Conchinelli.
Yeah, the murder pasta shells.
Brutal. It's gonna love it.
I got excited because medium tanks are back. Well, I was working out my list change. Oh, I got one extra Sherman, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, one extra Sherman's no bad thing. Don't be wrong, but
I don't think it counts.
I did look, and oh no, that's a spoiler. I'll save my
save your load.
Yeah, won't blow my bolt.
Keep your powder dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Warfare. Not Warfare. No, Warfare's this weekend.
Yeah,
so into one.
But that leads to us doing our Warfare practice games.
Yes.
Because I think all three of us and Martin met up at Guildford Games Club. So you two had your Warfare list, didn't you? I had the list. I would have taken the Warfare if I'd had a chance to go. Thanks.
Sad panda.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin had his Hungarians, which again I believe he's taken.
He is, yes. He's a Hungarian blob.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I do. Yes, I do hope I get to face him finally.
Why?
Well, because I've got King Tigers. I don't think he's got much that can actually hurt me, is he?
Yeah, but it's Martin. He'll work at some.
Oh, that's true. His bofers will.
He'll MacGyver something.
His bofers won't run away, and then I'll die on a cross check or something.
Yeah. He's not even taking the rockets,
Wow.
I know.
Rockets are the best bit.
Exactly.
So Lee, how did your game go against him?
Yes, I was playing Martin. Yes, so I was waiting to get a very thoroughly thumped in the face, as it were.
And what were you taking? You had your.
So I had my comic list. I was just trying to find the pictures, but I can't find them. So I had 2 and 4 comics, 2 and 3 comics, Crusaders, Dingoes, and the HQ are 2 comics as the formation. I then had in support Sextons with OP, a platoon of 2 Averies, which we'll get onto.
I remember this story, listeners. It's very good.
Foreshadowing. A Ram Kangaroo platoon, Royal Engineer platoon with body armour, and then a lucky card, which again, make note of the lucky card. So I mean, just try and remember what the Hungarian was. So a platoon of 3 Tigers, platoon of 5 Hetzers, 3 of those little armoured cars, 2 platoons of infantry, which I seem to call had Panzerfaust and the Panzerschreck. And then there were some heavy mortars, some medium mortars, a platoon of 3 Pack 40s, platoon of little 40cm guns with the Stelgrenades, and 2.4mm Bofors.
Saucy.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy list. And we're playing Circled with Martin playing the defender. So I had to put my force, 60-40, split between the 2 quarters. So I put Sextons and the Crusaders in 1 quarter, along the Dingoes and the platoon of 4 comets, and they sort of like spearhead out to try and bring them over towards the other comets to try and maximise my force. And then the rest, the infantry platoons and the rest of the comets went heavy on the left flank. The idea was try and basically close down on this little wood where I suspected Martin was going to pop his ambush,
Yeah.
and then then use the infantry to just push through his infantry, which my infantry is better than the assault, and take the objective. But the problem was, A had his little machine gun nests, and then machine gun nests just massacred my paratroops because I forgot short terrain isn't stopped if you're in tall terrain.
New.
Which is one of those rules I get annoyed about because it doesn't sound right. But the Pack 40s still ambushed the other side of the wood, but because I was close enough, he could shoot me basically through it. No, he was in he was in the wood, but at the back of it. But I was still within 6 inches, so he could shoot through the wood. 2 comets in between of 3 got bailed, so I got lucky. But I didn't get lucky because then neither of them got back in with a CO reroll, and then they ran away with a CO reroll.
Oh my god, what are they getting back in on? 4?
Freeze.
Ooh,
Take ammo.
dude.
Get back in the 3.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 dice, 3 less than 3s.
I think the last stand's 4+, can make confident, but with a CO reroll. But yeah. So absolutely went. And that just led obviously my HQ, a very mauled para platoon, and the ran kangaroos, which are still in good shape. And so I was just sort of like, in my turn, just looking, going, all right, this did not go well. And Martin said, well, look, you got your speed. I goes, yeah, that's a good point. So I swung around my HQ and the Rams to where the intact comets were, who then started driving up the middle to make a move on the right-hand objective. Now, obviously, there's 80 tanks off to the left. A very limited arc of fire. There's these 2 Bofors, which were annoying all the way through the game because they kept bailing the kangaroos aside. 80 tank 7 versus my Sidearmor 5. I kept getting 1s on my 1s and 2s on my side armor. But I managed to start pushing him back basically from the objective. His Tigers turned up on the wrong flank, which helped. His Hetzers turned up on the right.
wrong tiger, Gromit.
Yeah.
I saw them waddling across the battlefield.
Yeah. His Hetzers did appear on the right flank, and so it ended up in this like little city fight with Hetzers and his infantry trying to pick off my tanks. Was I tried to push the infantry, and I was on the objective, and then it came down to him. He took out the 2 Crusader AA tanks, and then pushed me back. So I wasn't on the objective, but I went to move back again. But I realised I was getting awfully close to a company morale check, and I think he managed to basically take down the last 2 units, get them into a company morale check. Into a company fail, basically. And at the end, we're talking about debrief. I said, but I didn't really want to go for a city fight. I wish I had Avery's to deal with that. He goes, I thought you said you had Avery's. I went, oh. So yeah, in fact, the Avery's could have been quite happily mauling all the infantry in the buildings to clear away.
Yep.
Happily, Hetzers, I don't care about no Hetzers, that kind of thing, just like running around. And so I was just like, it's the first time I use this list. Avery's are not a normal part of my army because they were just in as a equalizer basically in this list. And it's one of those things of why did I do that? Because I remember taking a mick out of Duncan for not putting his tank destroyers, C-100s on for once. I also ultimately forgot Lucky Card. Not entirely sure why we used it, but
the other thing we did learn, or I certainly learned from your game, was the 3D nature of terrain and how assaulting a more than 1-story building.
Yes, because we were having this. Yeah, we had a discussion because it's basically Martin's infantry doing some mad parkour.
Yeah,
and we sat down trying to work out how do you do multi-stories? Are we over? I think it came down to, you said each floor is its own building, isn't it, or something?
Essentially, yeah. Each floor is its own building, so you can move up one level at a time.
Yeah, but there's no sort of vertical component to movement, is there?
No. And also, but also, Eddie's right. When we were talking about smoke, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And if you smoke a building, you smoke the team, so you don't necessarily cause. Smoke's infinitely high, but it's not infinitely low.
There's a hole. It's the hole between considering the terrain as 2-dimensional and making it all perfect and it all working, or it being, what you see is what you get, WYSIWYG, true line of sight, measure diagonally, and making it work there. So it's intentionally been left a bit vague. And it only really matters when you get particularly tall buildings of 3 stories or more, really. But
Like
at
the
that
clock
point,
tower,
like the clock tower or putting the added story to the factory unit, because then you would go, well, actually, that is kind of more than 4 inches from the ground. So how do I assault you? Do I have to be inside the bottom of the building to assault up the 4 inches?
Yes, that's where our discussion came down to.
Yeah. And conversely, how do you get up to the top? Do you have to, move to the bottom of the building and then measure vertically upwards? Whereas in most tournament play, when you're building hopping, you just measure your lateral movement and just stack things in.
Yeah.
So it's a bit. It's a hole. It's a hole in the rules. It isn't descriptive. So you have to kind of just agree with your opponent how you're going to make it work.
Right. I think at some
But
point,
because it's so situational as well, the problem is you don't often do that before it becomes an issue, and then obviously you've got a bias in your decision making because one particular ruling will give you one outcome, and another ruling will give you the other outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a good game. I mean, Martin, as always, was good for talking through what I was doing and working out, trying to get me into a more tournament mindset rather than just my normal blasé, throw some dice kind of thing. Because it was interesting talking me down from thinking I'd completely lost the game in the first turn to realizing because of my mobility, I still had a chance. It's like a Team Yankee game. I could still flip the flank and go out and just quicker than he could, being an all-infantry force dug in, that kind of thing.
We could just completely negate the deployment sometimes.
Yeah. And so, once I switched back around to that and got back into my game face back on, as it were, it was, it was good. And like I said, good post-game debrief as well. So, it was a tough game. I feel like I gave Martin a run for his money, which is better than I was suspecting. It wasn't a complete tabling.
I think
against the number 1 player in the UK, of course.
Yeah, that's it. I definitely wasn't a number 2, that's for sure, on that one. But
I think the comments are deceptive as well. They're better than you think.
But no one's taking them. No one's taking comments to Warfare. I feel let down by my patrons, all their Churchills and Guard Shermans.
It's going to be so good. I've got a Churchill. Oh, have you? How cute. For I think you'll find you had a Churchill.
I've got a lot of armour on my Churchill. Have you?
Have you really? Oh, what's its AT? Oh, cute.
Yeah, it's got a tiny little pop gun on top.
I've only got a 2-up save in the side.
So how do you, and obviously you two play each other as well at the same night, so how did it go?
Yes, so I was attacking Duncan's cheese grater roadblock.
It's Task Force A. It's almost like how you would represent Task Force A. The only thing that's missing is armoured cars.
We're spitballing how to do it on the Facebook, trying to work out how to make a Task Force A. And this is
Task Force Alpha.
Yeah, I mean the only difference is I would put cavalry, so there should be greyhounds probably more than the Stuarts in there. But yeah,
right.
So it's your 6 Tigers against my, was it 12? Yeah, 12 Hellcats. A full engineering company, and then a short Stuart company with Scots. I love Scots. And armoured mortars, and then of course the stars of the show, the Thunderbolts.
Oh God, those Thunderbolts!
What aircraft?
Yeah. No. I don't care about them. I just care about what they do.
It's now aircraft.
Yeah. How terrifying are they,
Eddie? I don't get scared by them. I just become. It's just resignation.
What, are they going to bomb something and blow it up?
They're going to turn up, and it might suck, and you just have to go. Yeah, that sucks.
And did it suck?
It was a medium level. Medium's a well done.
Medium suckage.
Half suckage, yeah.
Medium half suckage. Yeah. So I put my Sturm Tiger ranged in, on the one objective. There was a couple of buildings I couldn't from where you're defending because I can't remember the mission, but it was
It was
outflanked,
one of the new ones. It was I was
outflanked or
manoeuvring
something.
and you were attacking.
Yeah, so you had basically a quarter of the board to deploy in.
Yeah, I think I got a photo of what
I
game
had-
mission you're playing.
I had the other half, but I could
Outflanked. You're
Yeah,
playing.
it was outflanked. So I could scout forward with my recce and basically put myself down the long edge and start attacking from the opposite side from where your reserves came on. Not that it really mattered because you've got Hellcats that go 120 million miles an hour.
I love the Hellcats.
My main concern was keeping out of that building. And because if you castled into the building with a ton of infantry, I literally would have to kill you to get you out with the Sturm Tiger.
You did have the Sturm Tiger that was ranged in.
I did,
almost
but then
building.
to do that, it has to be sat there and survive. It becomes priority number 1 target from your Thunderbolts.
Does the Sturm Tiger get a keeper ranged in, does it?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Oh, no, it does. It's only got one attempt to range in.
It only has one attempt to range in, but once it's ranged in, it's just an artillery unit.
That's fine.
That's the only... So the only difference it is you get to a ranging attempt for every model in the unit. So for me, it's 1 attempt. And it has brutal. So you're re-rolling saves from the first hit. That's it. Oh, and it doesn't take a penalty for having less than 3 guns firing. So I don't have to re-roll my successful hits. So it's, that's it. That's all. Yeah, 2 up firepower, brutal bombardment. And it's front armor 15, of course.
And it's front armor 15 and side armor 8.
And it is veteran.
Unlike
the rest, because it isn't SS, it's just a Sturm Tiger. So whereas the other units are trained.
It's a good Nazi.
Yeah,
make of that what you will, dear listener.
Efficient. So yeah, I had a 3-story building right on the objective because no matter where I tried to put the objectives, it was pain or pain. And then I was all about scouting and trying to get my assault off turn 1. And really, I would have been better getting within 8 so you can't target me, but not assaulting.
Yeah.
That was the lesson I learned, was don't rush in. You can't win till turn 6 anyway. Just get in a position whereby you're ready and don't... Because I found a couple of cross checks because of a stupid stone wall. I got 1 assault in, which did push you back, but you just broke off and went, okay, I'll run away. I've got another 5
turns. I can't lose till turn 6, so I didn't see the point in just sitting in the meat grinder.
Exactly. So I would have been better off just keeping my, position my Sturm Tiger forward and then shooting the crap out of you, next turn if I had to. So yeah, it's an interesting one for when the only thing that can really hurt me, really hurt me at range is the Typhoon Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So I pushed in, did some assaults, pushed you back, and we were kind of playing this to and throwing game. And I left my Sturm Tiger behind with the recce to kind of like the recce trying to do self-defense AA, which I think is another trap I shouldn't fall into. It doesn't do anything. You only get 2 shots, and then you've got to say,
There's 2 shots hitting on 5s, and then a 3-up save.
And then you
have to do a 5
and then a 5-up firepower. It's like that's too slim an odd to do anything.
A lot of miracles,
useful.
Yeah.
It's a lot of miracles when actually those machine guns and the 2cm cannons could have been hunting down your bloody Hellcats.
Well, this was it. It was like, what was I going to do with only 1 Typhoon that was... 1 Thunderbolt that was not going to do, what did I need 2 for?
One P-47 is just as good as 2. Whereas obliterating your Armour 4/1 Hellcats...
What made me laugh is my my M20 command for my Hellcats as well was just pouncing around because it wasn't worth shooting at, so it was just sort of wandering around in the open.
I'm in trouble.
I'm in danger, but
they were far
really
more threatening things than us, and we were just shooting up the recce with 50 cals.
Yep. And then your Hellcats were running forward and doing absolute nightmares. And your Hellcats got broadsided by 4 Tigers, and I bailed 2 of them out.
Broadside.
Yep.
I think it was ridiculous.
That was probably a turning point.
Because then you remounted with your command right behind them. Just remounted and started to drive around the side. I did come up with my Fezes absolutely broken. You're surrounded, so there's no point trying to get absolute frontal coverage with your
Yep.
arm or whatever, and basically doing, pivoting the turret and hull to say
180 degrees from each other, weren't they? They're diametrically opposite.
diametrically opposed, which will probably end up being a little bit of a slanty angle next time, to make sure you can't get into the side of both. But if you are able to pivot and turret that way, then against AT-12 against your tank, you go, well, I've got a 50-50 chance of it hitting my front armor and I'm fine. And then if I fail that, I've then got my 4-up save, as opposed to just going, he can drive around the side and I've only got my 4-up save. Conversely, at the same time, you'll get double the shots if they're in a position to do it straight away. So
yeah,
swings and roundabouts.
I mean, the other thing is that because you're having to move in that a lot, you've got 18 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got one
17,
shot.
yeah.
17, but it's only one shot.
Yep.
So you didn't have. We were working it out afterwards, and it was like, well, you just physically didn't have enough shots to.
No, it's a good counter list against what I've got.
It wasn't deliberate. It's what I'm taking.
Yeah.
I love my Scots were hilarious because they're like 80. What are they 86? They couldn't actually do anything.
Direct fire, yeah, I think it's 86 or 87. Yeah,
They
couldn't actually hurt me.
Couldn't do anything to anything.
Little 65-minute attack out. So
yeah.
But I ended up. I mauled down one platoon down to like 2 or 3 stands. I bailed out and killed a smattering of other things. Your P-47s came in, destroyed one, bailed one, and then another one got killed by flank shots from a Hellcat. And then I pushed forward to try and drive you off the objective, and then got bailed by a bazooka in the side.
Oh yeah, because I called it as well, didn't I? I was like, "Let's bail it out," and you were like, "No, it's not.
I'm gonna hit you on a 6." Poof, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And then I went, "Oh, that's bailed out," and you went, "No, it's not. You've got to pass firepower check yet." And I went, "Okay."
Yep, there's a 6. Oh, I hate you.
I could do this all day.
And then the next turn, just one stand just walks up to this tiger and goes, "Oh, by the way, you're captured because the strafing P-47s came and destroyed the recce."
They just shot them with 50
he bailed them all out. Yeah, he bailed them all out. So you just walked up and killed the last tiger, and I was like, "Oh my god, you've killed! Like you've destroyed all my tigers."
No air power.
It was 4 out of 6, I think.
4 out of 6, yeah. So, but there was only one. Yeah, there was one platoon left, so that was it.
Yeah.
That's company break. So it's a silly game, but it was a really good learning experience actually for how I'm going to play with them.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I just like that Hellcats running around.
No, it's good.
Awesome.
It was good. It was good to see how I would do it on boards where I can't just assault you off the objective and win from whenever.
Oh yeah, if you'd have been able to win from turn 1, you would have won.
Yeah. But it's whether or not I sit there and fight at range, and then we discussed it and going, well, do I just spread things out so you can only hit one tiger with your Typhoons? And I think that really is it. I either get in close, someone within 8, but at the same time, if I'm within 8, you can fall back, and then if the Typhoons turn up, everything else can just run away.
Yeah, which you did there was one occasion.
Which you did on a couple of occasions where you just ran away and then ranged in anyway and hit 4 or 5 tigers.
I think it was 5 tigers was under the template at one point, which was.
Well, that's because I'd pushed forward, because I'd jumped the gun and pushed forward. Whereas I think we said, actually, if I deployed in my deployment area at range, spread out with the lines of sight I had over there, I could have just picked off your Hellcats as they arrived from reserve, shelled the snot out of my infantry with a stern tiger, turn after turn after turn, because there's no way you could really hide.
And you could have put 3 or 2 tigers, just kept moving up towards the objective so that you still putting pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And then just do that way and be like, okay, apart within 4, but outside of 4 of my template, and just wait and have the patience. And I think that's the key lesson is, if the objectives aren't live until turn 6, don't jump the gun with this list.
No.
Use your advantage, and don't mitigate the Typhoons by spreading out and only having one that can be hit under a template.
You always close up the enemy as well. If you close up the enemy, the aircraft.
Well, that's what I did the first time round, but the enemy has the agency to move. And
yes, I see what you're saying.
They basically, a couple of times, Duncan just ran away. He went, I'm going to get out of my foxholes and move back. There's a wall I can fall back behind. I'm still concealed in bulletproof cover. for most things. Or you'll kill one platoon with machine guns, but you've only got so little holes. It doesn't really matter if everything moves. Then I've got 9 targets of opportunity. I'm only going to be able to kill one because I don't have the sheer weight of fire that I need. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he just basically ran back and went, "Yeah, okay. I've got another 4 turns that I can move something within contesting range."
Well, I did that thing as well, but I pulled one infantry platoon back and then threw another one forward.
Oh my god! Yes, you did. I'm glad you reminded me of this.
The building.
So Duncan had moved his infantry out of a building. To do that on the ground floor, he'd taken the top floor off and put it on, out of the way, moved his infantry out, and then a couple of seconds later, he moves his other platoon forward into a building. And I'm kind of going, where's the second story of this building? Where's that gone? And we're looking at the round, and we realise that what he's done is he's taken the second story, put it on the board to fabricate a brand new building, and then moved another platoon into it from across the board.
That'd be like a top level power move at a tournament.
Someone called it cheating.
It's just when we realised, it's like, I don't think that's a building, Duncan. Oh, crap.
I looked at him and went, where's the doors? There was no doors in it.
It's just all windows.
Why is there a balcony on the ground floor? That was hilarious.
but again, I think it's the fact you couldn't put pressure everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pull back a platoon that's taken a bit of a pacing and throw another infantry unit forward of engineers.
Yeah.
And, I don't think... Did you kill a platoon? That's not...
No, I didn't. I mauled a lot of them, but I never actually got the one down. So I did the usual fez and got a single point.
Well, I mean, cycling your infantry, or cycling your platoons, so you don't concede victory points, is just one of those tactics.
Well, when you had enough, you could do it. That's the thing. Yeah. It's the sheer weight of numbers under those infantry. It was a delicious feeling though, and it vindicated the Sturm Tiger when it's the ranged in hit on 4s. Yeah. It's like, right, hit, and you're like re-rolling saves, and it's then 2 up, dead. There was a couple of bombardments where it was just glorious and took 6 or 7 stands off.
Yeah. But then it did also miss twice. I think you only fired it 4 times in the entire game.
Yeah. It failed to range in twice on 4s because of the terrain. And that's fair. That's the way it's going to go. But it really does make people double. That 2 up firepower really does make people double guess when you put it. If you've got a ranged in marker in deployment. You really don't want to be under it.
No. No, it's not. It's not under the deployment that matters because it's the same as a normal artillery battery. Then
no, it's the 2 up firepower.
Still 2s or 3s. Most stuff's 3s if it's decent. It's the fact that you moved it, re-ranged in on the house, and then blew the slot out of the house because it counts as essentially brutal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's the ability to quickly redesignate and smash something because it's the 3s to range in is pretty good.
Yeah,
it really is. My 2 pellets.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good game. Good fun game.
So that's what we're taking.
That's it. Excited. Hopefully I get it painted for this weekend.
Well, hopefully, yes.
We all hope that, Eddie.
It'll be fine. I just need to decal and detail.
And detail?
Yeah. I mean, guns, tracks, bit of dry brushing.
Yeah. Make it like it's this, not just literally 5 seconds of fight airbrush, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be... I mean, that's historic accurate. It's 1945, so it probably had a 5-second fight of airbrush.
If you don't get done,
yes.
If you don't get done, let me know, because I've got mine painted.
If I paint little 15mm handprints of paint, where the guys have boot marks, they have to wait for the paint to dry before they start walking over it.
Where my Hitler Jugend has scrambled all over it.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun. Good fun. We also, I mean, that was there, but also Lee and I have been playing with some other guys from the barn the new Aliens and A Glorious Day in the Core game.
We have, yes. It's been good fun.
Which has been really good, surprisingly good.
I mean, Gale Force 9 board games are generally pretty safe bets. I mean,
Yeah.
Spartacus, Firefly, they're all good stuff.
They are good stuff, but you have that issue of, licensed game. Is it just a cash in?
Yes.
Kind of thing. I mean,
Well,
it
no,
is, but
it's not Aliens Monopoly, so no, it's not.
No, exactly.
Mm.
But you're like, oh, is it going to actually make it feel like the actual movie?
No.
It does. No, it really is. It surprisingly, all the cards have thematic names, and the scenarios in which we played them was there was one instance where it's just I think it was a scatter card where we played. It was like 10 meters, they're inside the perimeter. The next card that we played to counteract it was it can't
No,
be
it's
reading
working.
right.
Yes.
It's working, man. So yeah, the first mission we managed to get away quite easily and rescue Newt
Yep.
and get away. And the second mission, when it all goes horribly wrong, we ended up a situation where we had every single blip counter on the board. And then when they activate, it becomes sudden death mode where everything activates and moves 3 times. And Vasquez was running backwards with a bloodlust minigun, just shooting everything that moved before being dragged away to be captured. But the rest of the team got away.
Planet Last Stand, though, was
It was glorious. I mean, I must have killed at least 20 or 30 of these bloody aliens easily. Just turn after turn of.
Other than that,
No, really good. No, excited. I'm glad because when the Kickstarter came out, I went all in and got all the expansions. So if the base game was, yeah, because you've got that. There's the Get Away From Her, You B Word, which is the Power Loader and Alien Queen expansions. I've got the extra Marines, the extra Alien types. Yeah, there's a lot.
in the shoot 5x5.
Yep, there's a lot to play through. So excited to crack on and get those done, which is fun.
Yeah, it's just nice to have like a little Friday evening in the barn, in Dice Saloon with pizza, play some games.
It's just about right, isn't it? It's just about the right level to feel like you've exercised your brain, but not be daunted by doing it. Yeah. So yeah, well done, guys. Good game.
Good game.
Busy.
Anyone else played anything interesting?
I played a game of Legion, and that was all right.
Imperialis, the tiny little 6 mil.
No, Star Wars Legion.
Oh, so it's still not out.
Yep.
It looked intriguing. I the pictures you posted up with all the stormtroopers and that. It was
It's quite interesting. It's very fantasy flight though. So lots of cards, lots of interactions, lots of tokens.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, but it was pretty cool. And I get to play Darth Maul, who is the best Darth.
Yes, always the best.
Always the best Darth.
Just with or without his robot legs.
That's a good question. It was without.
Pre bisection.
Pre bisection, yeah. Exactly. He's very LGBTQ plus. is Darth Maul. But no, that was the main drive. But I played it was a Krennic list. And my friend Will had put it together because I didn't know what I was doing. But it was very in theme, so it had Shore Troopers and Death Troopers and Stormtroopers. So yeah, it was quite interesting. Han Solo took a lot of killing, but I did kill him.
I thought he gets stabbed by his son and then he falls off a balcony and that's it.
No, he got gunned down by Death Troopers. So there is no Kylo Ren. What a shame. What a shame. But that's fine. But yeah, no, it was pretty good. We played Galaxy Trucker as well, which is possibly the best.
Galaxy Trucker is fantastic.
Yes, very good.
The rule book for it is brilliant. It's that thing saying, oh, you want to try and get as much cargo as possible. You want to try and get as many batteries as possible. You want to get just 2 shields.
And then make it all fit together. We played the new edition and it had objectives in it as well, which was quite interesting. So if you had like the longest corridor, you got some extra points for that, and if you had your crew habitation blocks on the outside, like a cruise ship,
yeah,
you got like a title essentially. and you had to defend that title from round to round. And if you defended it, you got points for it. But if someone denied it from you, or they could deny it from you as well, so it added another layer to building your ship. So that was quite cool. Another little interesting thing.
Nice.
You have a round where someone gets to the end and it's just literally an engine and a crew capsules.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I was trying to make the longest corridor one, which meant my structural integrity was a little bit sparse. So when we got Meteor Strike, and I think Will rolled 3 7s in a row, and then half my ship just fell off. Like literally just sheared off at the center part and went, oh no, oh there you go. Oh look, all of my engines and guns were on that side. Oh, what have you got left? I've got crew compartments and cargo. I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Just got to rely on inertia now to get to the end.
Just limping along. Yeah. But yeah, it was good fun. I forgot how much fun it was, to be honest. It's one of those games where if you're not very good at spatial awareness type games and things like that, or quick problem solving, it can handicap you. It's not a skill set everyone's got.
Jeez.
I sometimes get locked in and try and find the perfect tile, and that's my
Yeah, rather than accepting the fact it's going to look a little bit shabby.
Accepting the fact it's going to be an exposed end, I just have to hope. If I make sure there's a turret covering it, it shouldn't be a problem. But...
Oh, don't expose your end ever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the only other thing we played.
And we're back, but we're not because we never went anywhere as far as you know because I've deleted it. Lee, what are we talking about now?
Yes, an Officer Answers now.
An Officer Answers. Is it an Officer Answers, Lee?
Yep.
It is.
Duncan, what we're talking about?
I think Officer Answers.
Oh, right. Okay, Officer Answers.
Quite a lot of them too.
Bumper edition.
We've been building up for a while.
It's bulging.
The last we did was just back in July, and so it was. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a while. How has it been that long?
Oh, I think we had book reviews come in, and we're just like trying to get through the books.
Is that the one where we reviewed one book and then we had a new one came out? Duncan and I thought we'd reviewed it, and Lee was like, "No, that was the."
What was
it? Was something anyway, yeah.
What did we review?
I think because we had Nordic forces and then NATO forces coming in.
Did, yeah.
And Duncan and I thought it was the same book.
Yeah.
Just done that, Lee. You and your NATO fetish, get out of it.
Yeah, God. Oh my God.
Seriously.
Enough now.
All he wants to do is talk about Team Yankee. Oh no, wait, it's a separate book. Yeah, I've not even downloaded this one yet.
It's unusual to have like two NATO book, two Team Yankee books, one after the other. So.
And then lo and behold, I now have a French army.
Yep.
Oh my God. The French clown car. The French Canadian clown car.
Ha ha.
Ha ha. Le ha ha.
No, surely it's ho he ho.
No, because it's French Canadians. Le ha ha ha. Eh?
Yeah.
Ocean Starter. I'm a manic Ocean Starter. 881. Sorry, 811. I do apologise.
811.
811.
118.
8181.
118.
Yeah.
So it asks, what's the... Oh, this is very poignant. What's the best ally combo in Team Yankee to play? Thinking of allying Norwegian infantry and Danish centurions with Swedish Vigans. Total Nordic force.
Oh my God.
Name of your sex tape. For me, it's the French Canadian clown car.
Oh Jesus! What a shocker!
Le ha ha, eh?
I always
Come on, Lee. What brokenness have you got sitting in that dark, quiet reserve of yours?
So the one I came up with was a horrifying one I did the other day, which is French Force. A VBL company like you've got, but literally having the minimum number of platoons, the HQ and 3 platoons.
Oh my God, this
one.
The
max then 4 Gazelle water cannons, 8 Gazelles are hot.
Yep.
Then a Mirage platoon, and then having an allied American M113 cavalry unit with so you got the 2 tow vehicles with little scout platoons, which is a scout vehicle and a tow vehicle with tow 2. So 2 of those.
Are they hammerhead as well?
Yeah, hammerhead. Yeah.
So they remain concealed and underground when firing. Right.
3 M60s, and that gets the sort of compulsory units done. And then I think I had 4 Cobras with tow 2 missiles.
So let me guess. You probably pick defend.
I don't think you go defend because there's too much risk of deep reserves. Maybe go maneuver, and that way.
Yeah. Right. And then you put the VBL formation just in reserve because they're
Yep.
never turning up. So you don't even have to buy those models.
Correct.
Because you don't want them on the table.
You don't
Yeah,
want
you
them on
just
the
have
table.
the armored cav on basically holding the objectives.
So you put the armored cav on the objectives, who are
I think-
going to be remaining onto ground and firing hammerhead missiles at things.
Yeah, I think you have to put at least one helicopter platoon and the M60s in
For the,
reserve or something.
for the points. Yeah, M6 is going reserve. That's fine because you can have an armored. Yeah, whatever.
They got
And
speed.
the rest is just waiting on your air support to turn up and just leaf blower the enemy away.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's cute. You bought some shilkers, did you?
Yeah.
Yep.
This came up with the original idea of trying to work out the ultimate Soviet leaf blower by combining an Allied Afghanistan formation with something like the Syrians. Then realizing actually the best way of doing it was to cut the middleman, just go straight to the French.
Yeah.
And the best thing is, you don't even need to wait for everything to be on in one turn like you normally do with a leaf blower. You can have those gazelles with autocannons just going around hosing enemy SAM systems. And once the enemy's got no SAM coverage, they're basically...
Because they're on the board.
They've got gunslinger as well, haven't they?
And they fire, they fire before AA, so they just walk around and auto cannon, like you said, just auto cannon your AA missiles. Oh my god, your geckos go, oh, this is fun.
Yes.
I'm the size of a small country, and now I'm exploding.
No transport save, yes.
And now I'm dead, yeah. That's brutal, and I love and hate it at the same time. It does kind of this discussion leans into what I posted on the group the other day, that Team Yankee for me is becoming a little bit of a tournament, not tournament, a scenario based game.
I think if I was doing a Team Yankee tournament, the first thing I'd do is ban allies.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, that's the thing. You have to really, for tournament thing, I think you have to really put the screws into the limitations. Open. Let me clarify. An open tournament, there's just too many variables.
Well, if you do it, you've got to keep points small as well. More points is less. It's still the chaff that's the problem.
Especially playing 6x4 tables, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the thing I was coming up with, if I was the ultimate sort of Team Yankee tournament, I was thinking like running, was having no allies. Right. You have one formation in your army. That formation must have a tank. It must be a tank formation. So the HQ is a tank unit.
Yeah.
And that tank must have at least front armor 15.
Right. Okay. To make it actual back to being tank games.
Yeah. So you might have like T-55s as a formation support platoon. With in some lists you might have it as like your third tank platoon in their formation.
Yeah.
But your core platoons will have to be something like a T-72 at the very least.
Oh, my poor Iranians.
You've got chieftains, haven't you?
Yeah, but that means I have to take them now.
Yeah, I mean, the Iranians get a bit... That's the problem with this thing. The Iranians get a bit screwed because it's very hard to do a single formation Iranian list.
Yeah, but who actually has that, apart from Duncan?
I haven't seen anyone else using the Iranians.
There we go.
They're idiots.
Watch time of day, Mike Robinson, watch time of day, subliminal message end, says, is the community too mean to Duncan or not mean enough?
Definitely too mean. 100%. I'm getting like daily messages from Darren now of Shrimwagon pictures. Like that's
yeah, I must admit that there was there's a point where I was wondering if we're crossing a line, but I thought no, it's too funny. Let's just keep going with
it. Chef's kiss banter. Yep, done.
Yep.
So
I think we're just the right amount of mean is what we're aiming for.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been bullied into buying anything ridiculous for a while, so that's a benefit.
Just because you're still painting.
I'm still painting Basage, and I'm still painting children. I seem to have gone through a child soldier phase.
Duncan Coney Gosling.
Yeah, because I've got the Berlin stuff.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Ooh,
oh, and French children now, because I've got the I've picked up those. I forgot about that. I didn't tell you that I picked up those free French infantry stuff.
What?
Yeah, I found someone who's selling the old boxes and the platoons and things. So I've got all the old.
No, you kept us very quiet.
The
Yeah,
Battlefront one.
I've got like enough to do a company of them
That's incredible.
because they're not limited card in D-Day for the Americans. You can have 3 platoons of them if you want.
Really?
Yep. You can't have the other ones, the FF or
No, you can only
FTP
have
or
one of
whatever it
these,
is.
right?
No.
Yeah.
No, you can have 3 F. You can have as many FFI as you want.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Well now.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say is if you had a platoon of FFI, are they the hit on 3 ones?
No.
Oh, yeah, you see.
I think they're the hit on 4s
With the reluctant.
with the reluctant.
Yeah.
But still,
Good. Nice.
they're still the ones that start on the table.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing better than that. Hailstorm81 asks, after the upcoming NATO book, where next for Team Yankee, and why should the answer be Korea?
No, it's going to be Africa, isn't it?
Oppa Gangnam Style.
So
Cool.
I've been pondering this. I realised something. So if you look at, I'm posted right now, writing an article about Leopard tank, basically Leopard 1.
Yeah.
And if you look at all the European users of the Leopard, we've got all of them apart from 3, and those 3 being Italy, Greece, and Turkey. And I was just thinking, that'd make a really good book there, like a whole Southern Front book. All the you've got your Leopard tanks in there. Your plastic high-end tank could be the Ariete tank if you want to go out stupid. We'll do a 1990s list. He says as he's putting Anzacs together for a 1990s list. My hypocrisy knows no bounds. And then even possibly finally get a plastic YPR kit, because obviously the Turks have a very similar infantry fighting vehicle based on the same FMC Corporation infantry fighting vehicle. But otherwise, otherwise, the other answer is go Pacific and do, like, say, North Korea, South Korea, China. But we had an interesting little side discussion Discord about whether China would be financially viable, whether you'd end up tanking any kind of Battlefront market in their
yeah.
You have to do very carefully.
Oppa Gaskin style.
What makes the least sense? Because that's probably what's going to happen. You've applied logic to a problem.
African Bush Wars, yeah.
Scottish insurrection.
Which one? The Scottish are revolting. I know. We've talked about this.
What scale is this map, Roderick? Oh, it's 1-to-1, sir. It's incredibly detailed. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because we haven't heard anything.
Brazil. I'd like to see Brazil because I'll tell you for why. They supplied vehicles to Iraq.
They did, yes.
Oh.
So why not Brazil? You could do Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela.
You are gay.
Yep. Yep, and the country.
I would like to see, I don't know. Personally, something a little bit. The most off-ball thing I had was something like Arctic warfare. So, like a fight for Antarctica or something like that, where you could take existing models and just winterize them, but have a limited different army list to represent the fact that it's all going to be airlifted or whatever. But that's just me. That's left field. That's far left. Fez's.
No, but that's the kind of thing they go for.
That's what I'm thinking. Something
what's
where
the
it's
most
like
economically unviable product.
No, it doesn't. Well, that's the problem. This is viable because you just take existing models and build different lists.
Something that's out there
as a little, spray it white, dry
Why
brush
don't
on
you
some
just
base
say
colour.
Marines? Soviet Marines.
Well, that's the other thing would be to do that kind of. But I think it's one called Air and Sea. So you have like Soviet naval infantry, Polish airborne, Polish naval infantry
with a Soviet a Kranaplan.
Yeah, PT-76s along that kind of thing. I think this. The thing with Team Yankee is there is still plenty, especially if you're being woolly on the timeline. There's plenty of scope of what you can do. And even if you stick strict, try and walk it back doing strict 985. There's a lot you can do. Like I said, we haven't touched the Southern Front yet.
We still haven't. We haven't, but we still haven't seen Checkpoint Charlie.
We're not going to see Checkpoint Charlie. I reckon it's a myth at this point.
Well, lots of plastic kits coming out will work for it. That's a problem.
Yeah, I know. But that's because again, it makes sense. You're putting too much logic on this. You've got to be far.
I think we'll have early Team Yankee early. I think that's coming. Nice. Porky7 says, which tanks do you think will be included in the Late War Leviathans besides the Centurion with its 20mm coax gun? Do you think we might see some E100s and the like, or more stuff like the Panther II or the Panther Coalition AA tank?
I'm just going to wave my hand vaguely at the release schedule for World of Tanks, because I think that gives the biggest indication what's going to be coming.
Yeah, we haven't seen those yet, have we?
No, I think the first one's hit November this year. I think it must be soon.
Well,
but that had
now, aren't they? The mouse.
But that, like you said, had the E100. It's the mouse, the M, the mouse, the Centurion, the IS-3, and the
big, not Pershing.
T
95,
maybe with a big 100mm gun.
Yeah.
That was in the starter kit.
Right.
And he says, frankly, looking for where he saw the last printout of the release schedule. I can't remember if it was in the Team Yankee group or the general group. But that had like stuff like the E100. It had the weird Jagdpanzer based on E100. It had it had the M48s, which is very much Checkpoint Charlie era.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things on. So probably the M48 is well out of phase. So yeah, but certainly there's a lot of emphasis on the German stuff. I think there's a few American bits and pieces as well. Tortoise was on there for the British as well. So I can see all of those being in simply because if you're making the kit for World of Tanks,
they've got to sell enough to actually make it worthwhile.
Precisely so, and that would make the most sense. Yeah.
So E100s. I haven't seen anything about Panther 2s or Coalitions.
I haven't seen the Panther 2 all that. I haven't seen much in the E series beyond the E100. Where is that?
I very much doubt we'll get the Coalitions because they would not work in the World of Tanks game.
Which one are they? The anti-aircraft guns, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the Panther. The Panther with the 20 mils in the
turret. Yeah, that's definitely based on the Panther, wasn't it? So not the Panther 2, so it's not going to be like a... Yeah, okay, so yeah, probably not then. I can't find that thing. I'll probably find it after we do the podcast. I'll be annoyed at myself for it. But yeah, certainly I can see anything that's on that World of Tanks release schedule, I will see that sort of fits in with being 1946-ish, I think will be in that book. Here, I found it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was E100, T95, which is a squat tank destroyer, basically, the whole gun.
Super Hetzer, basically.
Yeah. Tortoise, the Rheinmetall Scorpion, which is their, I think, based on the Panther chassis with a big gun there. The Jagdpanzer E100, which is, I think, some stupidly big gun on the E100 chassis.
Yeah.
M103, which again is another heavy tank, but I think that's more post-war. That's more the Checkpoint Charlie era.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's 5 things there that would make sense for being in a sort of that kind of book, and there's along with IS-3, it's already out in the mouse and that.
Nice. Carl Stockperson, who has obviously been raiding our personal search history and is probably an AI bot at this point, has asked us a very poignant question. Imagine you're on the army purchasing board in 1942 for a large, very important and very wealthy country that never existed as entirely made up. You've been ordered
Luxembourg.
to Yes. You've been ordered to choose between buying the QF 25 pounder and the 8.8 centimeter Flagswerger Cannon 36 for your army. You are specifically not allowed to choose both. Which one are you choosing?
That's easy.
Yeah. Well, no leads going.
But 8.8 centimeter because it's second hand. So it's third hand by the time you're getting it. It's going to be cheaper.
Has he got a gun shield?
Oh, there you go.
Should do. It has the 8.8 centimeter flug of
No, the
has
Flak
a
36 didn't have one to start with, did it? When it was first developed,
I don't think this is a Flak 36, is it?
I think it's
Sorry, it is a Flak 36.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Flagzugvagabavakanoon.
but-
AKA
so
Flak.
I thought he was trying to talk about the German destination for the 25 pounder, but I just seen the 36 at the end years. So.
Yeah, it's a Flak 88.
Yeah.
Flak 88
£25.
20, there of Lee. I mean, come on.
Lee's going £25 out, obviously.
Obviously, because it's multi-purpose and the properly multi-purpose rather than just I can shoot a tank. I can kind of be a very bad artillery cannon.
Yeah, but you can't shoot down a B-17.
That's true.
No, neither can most 88s. That's why I had to that's why I go for bigger and bigger guns.
It's fair.
But you can use it as artillery, and as an anti-tank gun, and as a flak gun.
They use it as a very ineffective artillery piece, but
ineffective in what capacity?
Well, it's not a very big shell for the
Yeah.
No.
Psychologically, though, under artillery fire, I'm going flak 36 all day, every day, especially if it's got a gun shield. Without a gun shield,
yeah, but it's 1942, so you'd just be buying Bofors.
I'll be buying Nimrod. Yeah,
exactly.
All the Nimrods in the world.
Just Bofors, 40mm, through and through, day in, day out. Because once you get the proximity shells, they work wonders. But it's a Flak 36 though. I love a 25 pounder, but I love a Flak 36 more because I like worrying people who know me.
So that what you're saying is Lee's outvoted 2-1.
I
think so.
Well, no, because as much as we love a Flak 36, as much as I am the 88mm fanboy, and obviously Duncan is ambivalent towards it, but sees the advantage in being an 88 over 25 pounder. For as much as we both love that gun, Lee loves the 25 pounder twice as much. So his vote actually counts as 2 25 pounders.
Oh, I see.
So whereas we're rerolling misses, Lee's got a battery of 4, and
to be fair, because they're probably a better general anti-tank gun.
The 25 pounder was amazing. Yeah, the 88 has its reputation and it had a place, but at the same time, it's not. I do wonder in 42 when there were improvised anti-tank guns, how much did they actually hit?
Well, was it 6 years old then at that point as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably starting to creak a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit wonky. Well, that's why they had the long barrel and then they, the 43 and all that stuff. All that random stuff,
Okay, we can't choose.
I do like the Flak 36s as well, because 88 mils I think are hilarious because they're simultaneously gigantic and tiny.
They've got a crew of 1 million men as well.
They've got a crew of 1 million men, but when you see them in real life, you kind of go, that's not as big as I thought it was. Because in 15mm, the model looks huge.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw the one at the Imperial War Museum, Duxford Land Warfare thing, I was like, oh, it looks a bit like a sawn off. Like it's like someone's taken 3 or 4 feet off the end of the barrel. You're like, well, actually, no, it's still a pretty big gun. It's just there's not a lot to it.
No,
but they are fun. They always got in Flames of War. It's no doubt for me. Well, I say that actually. Early days, 88 day in day out because I always had them in my armies. But with my captured Italian ones, those 25 and my Brit ones as well, the 25 pounders have done a long way to get secure a place in my heart. Because the amount of times that they've been the only thing that's kept my army on the board. and turntables on wonderful rule. Oh,
it is a stupid rule actually.
I love it. It's just Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's 3 defensive fire, so that's 6 shots, and you're dead now. Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? You probably should have sorted. Scriverus, Skivvy Pants. Odd question, as are they all.
Yep.
If you wanted to start a Team Yankee army based on the 80s action movie trope of a horde of bad guys all dying to the invincible hero, which nation would it be?
Iranian Basage, surely.
Iranian Basage.
No, how dare you? How dare you?
There'd be Iranian Basage and 1 Leopard 2.
Just falling out. No, because I can penetrate the Leopard 2, I think, on the side. You need the American, not MP one or whatever it is, because side armor 16.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Oh. Carl Stockperson again asks, the Berlin Germany book has the awesome looking blood on the street scenario. Do the books have scenarios in?
Yeah.
Oh, we should totally play them sometime.
Yeah, we should play
Absolutely,
this,
yeah.
guys.
We should really play them. Yeah. Blood on the street scenario that looks like it's intended for battles in the major cities of Germany on the Eastern Front. Were there similar urban battles on the Western Front that could be played with this scenario? What British or American lists would you use to fight those battles? Can I just jump in here and go, Con!
Yeah. Most of them. I mean,
That's a 2 for reference. That is 2 for 1.
I think the difference is didn't the Western Allies just essentially bomb the crap out of them before they assaulted them? So
Yeah, but that's what makes them worse. So the Soviets did that as they were rolling. Well, first of all, the Western Allies had already bombed the crap out of most of the targets that the Soviets were rolling through.
Yes.
For the last however many years.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bomber Harris.
Did a fine job.
Yeah, did a fine job.
Spoken against them.
Yeah. Distraction from the main event.
Exactly.
And then the Soviets proceeded to do the same thing, just with short-range artillery before they then rolled through. So you ended up just flattening everything to a similar state of rubble and giving the defenders a rabbit warren of defensible positions.
But interesting question. They had this come up on We Have Ways this week on the podcast. Would you rather be a tank driving around a corner and getting Panzerfaust, or trying to drive over rubble through a town?
Then getting Panzerfaust.
And then getting Panzerfaust from beneath.
See, the infantry division's got loads of dozers and stuff, so they don't really care about moving through. Armoured dozers and things.
Well, they also have feet that walk over rubble.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's not as much the problem as I think it's potentially made out to be for some of the Western Allies because they're better equipped. But I mean, most of the major cities is going to be, street fighting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've got stuff like Arnhem and that. Well, I think it'd be a good one to do it with Paras having to hold back because Oosterbeck and Arnhem as basically the Germans sending armour and infantry against them. So you have the Allies as defenders in that rather than as the attackers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's always a terrible idea, isn't it? I mean, Aachen is another one you can do. US versus Germans, just absolute. The first German city, wasn't it, that they rolled into and went. Maybe they haven't all surrendered. I mean,
these appear to be lunatics. Oh,
why aren't they falling back? Oh, that's right, because they've already fallen back. This is where they were born. Oh,
yes.
Dear.
Funny enough, they're a bit more attached to Germany than France.
Yes. Yeah.
Who knew?
Who'd have thought it? I mean, there's lots. I've actually just picked up the Berlin Germany book itself finally after having just got the cards. So I will look through and see if there's a. I mean, that will be probably after D-Day. Has happened. We can do Christmas sieges with the rubble buildings.
Yeah.
City fighting.
Do Black Hawk.
I beg your opinion.
Everyone loves it.
What one is that? The British pushing into what operation is that?
But Blackcock is clearing.
It's straightening the line basically.
Oh yeah.
Through 44.
That's the one. The one that everyone kind of all the history books glaze over, but actually was a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
In very bad conditions. Yeah.
In terrible conditions. that had absolutely zero glory, but was vital to actually winning the war. Yeah.
But
Yes.
on the bright side, whitewashed churchill crocodiles.
Oh my god, it's going to look so
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, I need to get some more of them. I do need to
Talcum
get some
powder over all
crocodiles.
the terrain. Oh, that's going to be
Well,
good.
Yes, talcum powder.
Yes, Colombian marching talcum powder.
Put
me
your
just clear
patron
a
money to good
path.
use.
Yeah, let me just clear a path through the town. Yeah, there we go.
Is that why you've been renditioned again?
Yep.
Mr. Taylor.
Tinker Tailor.
Given that he's coming to the event this weekend and I've invited out for curry, asking the question, it is time to settle it. Who is the big spoon?
Oh,
Hold me. Don't hold me. I mean, what?
well, let's put it this way: it's not Lee.
It's not Lee.
It's not Lee.
No.
It's not Lee.
Lee's getting cuddled, and also he's going to giggle like a little schoolgirl. I think when it happens.
I think
There you
it's
go,
more
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think we don't have a big spoon. I think we just have. I think Lee is the hot dog.
No, do you know what I think we've got, Eddie? I think we've got a pair of chef's tongs.
Slowly roasting wiener.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, classic.
There you go.
There you go. No big spoons, chef's tongs.
Just chef's tongs and soup spoons.
Clack, clack, clack. You've got to test it. If you don't click them at least 3 times before you use them, the world ends. Everyone knows that.
Well, no, they just don't work, do they? That's
No, well,
requirement.
that and the world ends. Yeah, the grill explodes.
Mm.
Roy
Never buy-
Hood.
Never buy non-stick tongs because you can't pick anything up because it keeps sliding off.
That's a good point.
I know it's from
Frictionless.
experience. Yes.
If you buy frictionless anything, you can't pick it up.
But you can start doing mass engineering questions because you now have the frictionless
Yeah, you
surface.
just
Oh,
slide
God.
it under the building and then
All
roll
you
that
need
down
now,
the road.
all you need next is an inelastic string to put onto it. So
Oh no, that stupid inelastic string. I've got those out in my underwear at the moment.
Oh, God.
Roy Hood asks, does Battlefront overcost speed and undercost armour in Flames of War? As an American player, I struggle to see the value of chaffies. The only defense is veteran, which makes them expensive. Speeding them across the board to get flank shots is a pipe dream. This rolls into undercosting armour on things like Panthers. I can hit you on 3s, in reality 5s with range and cover, but front armour 9 or 10 ignores a lot of what I'm shooting with.
Yes. There doesn't seem to be much context in the points.
I think this is massively dependent upon your terrain. And it comes back to the same discussion of I would love to see a snapshot of what terrain most New Zealand games are played on, most American games are played on, and then most British games are played on.
It's very nationalistic. There's 192 other countries out there, really.
Yeah, but those are the loudest ones.
I'd like to know what the games are looking like in San Marino.
I think we should use their patron money to go do an exploratory
Exactly.
investigation.
To San Marino and then
No, to Easter Island. Yeah, I would like to.
If you are a wargaming club in Easter Island, then write to Fez at breakfast.
I still think we should get a Cook Island domain because it. Do you know what the Cook Island domain is?
No.
It's .co.ck. So if you've got a domain registered in the Cook Islands, you can have a .cock address. Yeah, which I think was a character in EastEnders. I think she ran the laundrette.
Is that with the bubble burst?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
What was the question?
The question was, do they overcost speed and undercost armor?
Yeah, they do. They got this weird thing about speed.
But that comes back from the
speed.
terrain and at the same time.
Does it?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's only a 6x4 table. It's got nothing to do with terrain.
It's more a function of deployment areas.
No. Let me finish, boys.
Yes.
No, you're
we don't tend to play with clumps of terrain.
wrong.
We tend to play with a naturally aligned, flowing board. We don't have, when we have a wood, we tend to just have the one wood. I distinctly remember seeing Phil giving advice about clumping terrain together. So you have sort of having, if you have 3 woods on the board, don't have them spread out, put the 3 woods together in one lump.
What, into a
So
mega wood?
well, yeah, but like with gaps in between, so
So a
it
forest.
feels exactly that. We don't tend to do that in the UK. We tend to spread them out. So I have my theory is that when the New Zealand guys are playing, they're having, you know, a group of buildings, a group of woods, and building it that way, which therefore the speed to get between the 2 lumps of terrain and remain out of sight is more important than armor. Because the speed then gives you that invulnerability of being able to dictate who can and can't see you because of the nature of the terrain. Whereas we tend to have instances where it's quite hard to be completely out of line of sight, and even if you are, you're probably going to be at range.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my theory based upon.
It's only a 6x4 board. There's only so far you can move on it.
Correct.
Right, so have a 28-inch road dash, all right, or a 20-inch cross-country dash.
Yeah.
You set up what? 16 inches long.
The 3 or 4. Well, I think the logic there is those 4 or 5 inches gets you completely behind a wood for the whole platoon, as opposed to having 1 or 2 tanks stuck at the back that get shot at and killed.
Yeah, but I still think it's the interaction between. So there is something as well about having, like, you know, hit on 3 Tiger tanks, like your SS, for example.
Yeah,
Like, who cares if they hit? And the Soviets, who cares
Well,
if
it's
they
like
hit on 2s? Yeah.
hit on 2 KV5, which is like,
Yeah.
oh, you hit me. Oh, there's nothing in this game that can actually hurt me. Oh no.
Yeah, and that's where it gets weird. Is there is no context. There's no, in the point system. There is no, you know, if this is this or greater than this, this then becomes
Yeah.
not reduced as much. I think that's obviously very complicated, but there is some of that going on. I don't know how you fix that. I don't know if you have
No,
something
I know.
to do.
I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to maybe illuminate why we may be seeing
Plant a bigger board.
regional differences.
Maybe they're playing on 9x5 boards. Maybe
Well, I
they're
mean
not playing on
that's
6x4
also it.
boards.
There is no defined board size for Flames of War, which is quite elegant in a way because the missions are all designed to work on any size of board because it's from a set reference point to a set reference point, and bits in between don't matter. So there is that.
I mean, we always said that with Team Yankee as well. The longer ranges, you need a bigger board.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I think yes, for a majority of, I know from the US and UK perspective, yes, we think, you know, I would agree that speed is overvalued compared to armor. And you know, bringing Panthers back. I'm still here. I'm still moaning about Panthers. Don't worry. You know, bringing Panthers back is difficult for me. But then conversely, that comes back saying, you know, Roy's struggling with Panthers because of their front armor. But at the same time, the get around from that is to have fast things which drive around the side because they're only side armor 5.
Yeah, it's like Panthers even that fast. They're about.
Yeah,
I suppose they're fast for something that's got front armor 9 or 10.
Yeah,
maybe.
they're fast for something armor 9. Yeah, but they're suffering a little bit as well. Anti-Panther lists suffer because you've lost the artillery advantage because it used to be, you know, the top armor 1 artillery was really scary. Now it's only marginally scary against them.
Yeah.
You know, it used to just be like, oh god, Panthers are just going to die horrifically, even though yes, they're. So it used to be.
Well, you also had the bigger artillery. So you used to have 5.5-inch guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
would just
things like that,
mess them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think you're right though. It's interesting you say they overcost speed and undercost armor because the Panthers have they've got the armor, but they've also got the speed cost. They're not cheap by any length
No.
of
But
imagination.
they got the armor to the front.
Yes,
They haven't got the
exactly.
armor to the top, and they haven't got the armor to the side, which is why it's bizarre that a tiger is only 1 point more expensive.
Yeah, and you're like, actually, I'll take the tiger, and he's not that much slower.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Panthers. Bring back my Panthers. I miss them. Harry, hi Harry, says if we were to see a command card version 2 or an expansion for the current selection of late war books, is there anything equipment or specific unit wise you'd like to see? Yeah, I'd like half price Panthers, please.
I'd like lucky to not be in there.
Tech rocks. You take rocks back.
I nearly snorted my drink out my nose, Dunk.
What, by lucky?
Yep.
I'd like to see a points decrease in Shrimp Bargain
I'd like to see
and Kubel
Just 1
Wagon.
point.
I'd like to see Shrimp Bargains be -1 point. So if you take Shrimp Bargains, you actually get points back for your list.
You actually get points back
Yeah,
because they're almost
But
universally
you,
useless.
but you must have the models, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see a card so you can add 50 cows to Rams, like you spelled to in version 3. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see a card to add Piats to the Sawn of Daimlers, like you spelled to do.
Nice.
I'll tell you what I'd like, actually thinking about it, a Brumbar company card.
For late war.
Yeah, for late war doesn't exist at the moment, does it?
No,
Yeah, just mid war, yeah.
no Brumbars.
Despite the fact there was four entire companies deployed on every theatre, well, in every theatre to the west, the east, and in Italy. But other than that,
I would like to see the HS-129s with the big old 7.5cm cannon come back
oh, okay.
because they don't exist anymore, which is sad, Panda. Which is,
Yeah, that's right, because they brought back the other version, but they didn't bring
yeah,
back
they got the
7.5.
normal, they got the machine gun one, but they don't have the big cannon one, which is kind of
Bit annoying.
yeah. Trying to
I
think
can't think
now.
of too much.
I think what I
It's
missed.
not much. It's not much. SS Cavalry.
Cavalry and motorbikes. Do I miss them that much? I mean, they were cool, but they're
They could just. They only belong on a card, one card.
yeah. Armored trains. Are you getting this back in Berlin anyway?
No, I can't think of too much.
There's something. There is something in the back of my brain which is burning, but I can't think of it right now. Which is useless. So I'll carry on. Daryl says, "Oh, if the Schwimmwagen was armed with Panzerschrecks, similar to the Klein Panzer Advanced Tank Hunter, how many points would you value a single vehicle, and how many for a section of 3?
Right. So the Vants are 8 points.
Yep.
And they're armoured.
Yep.
But the Schwimmwagens are amphibious.
Yep.
So it'll probably be about 16 points. 12 points. I reckon 12 points, actually.
Schwimmwagens would get... Right, if a Schwimmwagen was armed with Panzerschrecks, how many points are Schwimmwagens?
3.
Right, if you arm them with Panzerschrecks...
Too many is the right answer.
Yeah, if you arm them with Panzerschrecks, they would be worth 3 points.
Well,
no, they wouldn't.
So
yes, they would.
So bear with me, guys.
And this is the reason why they're 3 points is because Lee's about to explain.
Because the Schwimmwagen is basically, it's not a transport. It turns your infantry into like a bike. The old bike team's old,
Yep.
and you can still fire as a bike team, if I remember rightly.
Correct. But what doesn't a Schwimmwagen have?
So
A gun?
No, Schwimmwagen teams have guns. What don't Schwimmwagens have?
Gun? Don't know, go on.
They do not have a tit-tat tactical move.
yes, you got to shoot statically. Yes, that was
So
it.
if you give a 4-inch gun, sorry, an 8-inch gun to a team that does not have a tactical move, it literally can never fire it other than in defensive fire. And if it gets assaulted, it will die because it cannot
No, it
break
can.
off because it has no tactical move. So
Yeah, it can. It's fine. You just blitz. See, it's 12 points. I told you.
Please.
You have to blitz 4
Well, no,
inches, then
because
you
you
can
can't.
fire
Because
8.
you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
I've
You
done
had
it.
to wait for them to move up within 8.
No.
Well, no, because you can't be within 4 if you can't get within 8, and then you move 4.
What?
So you're a stationary team, right?
Yes.
I dash up to you. I cannot get within 8 inches. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
No, wait.
So
Shrek's range 8, aren't they?
yes, you
Ignore
get
me.
shot
So
for a
I'm
turn.
confusing it with the Panzerfaust. If you give them
Yeah, yeah.
Panzerfaust, they would be useless.
They'd be awful.
They would be absolutely useless. As it is,
Stupid.
you have to pass a blitz to then.
Yeah, to use them. It's just, but yeah, that's why they'd be 12 points.
No,
Not.
the problem with Shrimvarg is they do not have a tactical move, and
Why don't they have a tactical move?
because
doesn't make any sense.
it limits them being used as universal carriers. It gets around the problem the universal carriers have, which is that they become like miniature assault tanks.
Apex Predators.
I mean, they are great.
But why would you assault in a soft top vehicle? You wouldn't.
Because I mean, to be honest, it's hilarious because they give it these Swimvargans get this weird penalty tax, whereas you then have a Team Yankee army formed of nothing but better Swimvargans.
But in your example, they're the same points cost as a universal carrier, which is armoured.
Yep.
So armour and amphibious. I'm getting angry
I
now.
know.
Yeah,
Right, move on quickly. Quickly now.
Scott Decatur asks, for Flames of War, what are your thoughts on a 79-point single tank formation list, only fighting custom meeting engagements?
What?
What are your thoughts on a 79-point single tank formation list?
I think it's trying to talk about a tournament format.
Right. Okay. So in a tournament, they're playing a custom meeting engagement fight. It's 79 points, but you just take a single tank formation.
Is it a rat? Is that your
No, I
79
think
point?
I'm reading that as a single formation of tanks, as opposed to a single tank
Yeah,
formation.
you get one formation. Yeah.
One formation.
Okay.
So what would we take if we had 79 points to spend on a single tank formation?
And you're going to play meeting
Americans.
engagements.
We're going to be playing meeting engagements. What would we take for Flames of War?
Americans.
Assuming late war. Americans.
Always Americans because they've got integrated artillery.
Oh, mate. I wonder how many easy 8s you can get for 79.
My comets have integrated artillery. It's called a CS tank.
But what do you need artillery for?
Killing infantry. Oh yeah, there's no infantry.
There might because
I
some of the
see.
German lists can have an infantry, can't they? So there might be infantry you have to worry about.
79 points worth of. If it has to be tank formations, I guess the question is: are you fighting other tank formations or not? If you're fighting other tank, if it's tank formation versus tank formation,
Which I presume it is from what
I guess it is. I was going to say universal carriers with Piats because Apex Predators.
I mean,
With
they are
Scout and
tanks technically.
I mean, yeah, but they don't become they come from an infantry formation, don't they?
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Because only in mid-war we have divisional cavalry. Can you have an army of US carriers?
Oh, do you know what I'd like to play actually? He's my Ferdinand's. He's my my elephant lists. I've never played that.
But
Also, no, you can do this. You got the Recce squad. You got the Recce squadron card that has universal carriers and
they're
armored cars.
tanks. Yeah, what am I talking about? There's a tank formation. There you go,
God.
Brit Recce. My Brit Recce.
What period actually?
I'm assuming late war.
It didn't say just said Flames of War. It didn't actually say what period, but
mid-war.
My Brit Recce, universal carriers with Piats. You get infantry. You get some gun teams. You know you can go. You get 6-pounders with transports if you wanted. 79 points. You could have a swarm of. Yeah, Brit Recce.
I'd like to play my Das Reich T-34s.
I mean, the problem with Brit Recce, if you're doing a single formation, is you wouldn't. The integral high AT sucks. you don't really get that.
Yes.
But you can have your universal cows with Piats.
Soviet T-34-85 might not be a bad choice.
I mean, that's always good.
There's nothing better than 10 T-34-85s.
Well, that's true. Quantity and all that.
Exactly. Just have that.
Daryl's asked a question that I've had to look over my shoulders to check it's clear to answer. And I don't know how far Tate is through catching up. So Daryl asks, for Narm, which forces do each of you own, and are there any you want to get?
See, I don't own anything for Narm. It's one of those things I keep meaning to rectify
What?
and never quite get round to.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know anything either.
Oh. Okay.
Which is why we were surprised when you went so heavy on it, because we're like, oh, we haven't got anything.
Oh,
If you're providing it all, good.
sure. I thought you had. I thought you'd got some.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, I know I've got a US Airborne Force formation. I also know I've got a US Black Horse formation. I know I've got a PAVN company. I know I've got a local forces Viet Cong company. Plus all the air support in the world. I'm trying to think if I actually ended up getting the Australians or if I just wanted to get them.
Well, they're easier now as well because they've got plastic Centurions.
Yeah.
Well, they got this. Yeah, the Centurions. I think I didn't get the Australian infantry models when they came out. I can't remember if I got the infantry platoons to go with the Centurions, but yeah, quite a few and a lot of Hueys that are sitting in a box crying, wishing I had a garage door painted black. Yeah, and do I want to get? Yeah, I want to get them all because I think Narm will actually be a lot of fun when we get it onto the board finally at some point. Darren Hart, Chief Archivist, says, could episode 98, well, we're on 99, so the answer is no.
We're so bad at this.
Yeah, we're terrible. Could it include a BMP report from each of you? Okay, so for Duncan, your BMP report is the Passage Militant Progress Report.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was just how many BMPs you
no,
know.
no.
Oh dear.
Don't ask silly questions. Numbers don't go that high. Duncan, your Passage Militant Progress Report, please.
I have 7 ballistas painted and an 8 assembled out of 13 that I own.
You have 13. Oh my god.
Yeah, 13 packs of them. I worked out as about 600 figures.
How many points is that?
Like 100.
Of just infantry?
Yeah, because they're 25. It's actually a bit more than that because they're 25 points for the big units, which are 28 stands of infantry, 9 RPGs.
Do you think you could win defensive games if you just had, because of the layers of platoons and the number of platoons you had?
They'll never break at that point.
Right?
But you can't win.
No, no, you can, because if it takes so long for your opponent to get within 8 of the objectives, the game times out and you win.
I mean, they haven't got anything that can stop a third gen tank from going in.
No, but but apart from the break off, what's your counter attack for a Passage?
I think it's 3.
Yeah, so most allied forces are 4s or 5s, aren't they? Very few have 3-up counter attack and assault. So you don't have
challenges. I think might be the only thing I can think of to my head. Oh, Aussies as well. Aussies have got it.
What, 3-up?
Of course they have.
Yeah.
See.
But I mean, yeah, I think the whole formation tops out at something like 116 points or something. If you want to do the full big blob.
That's amazing. I love it.
Oh, sorry. Aussies counter attack on a 4+.
See, it's quite rare to get 3-up counter attack.
It's bizarre. Interestingly, the leopard hits on a 3+, and the M1A1 hits on a 4+.
Yeah.
But I really wouldn't want to assault with a leopard.
Nope.
Yeah, they counter attack 3, skill 5.
I mean, you're not trying to kill at that point. You're literally just trying to stay in the fight.
Yeah, courage 3, morale 3, rally 3. Yeah, someone did write something about not doing the Passage Assault with them, because obviously if you do Passage Assault, you can't dig in.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're huge blobs. So the 22 points, you get 25 AKM.
But I'm talking like
stands.
a line, and then 4 inches behind another line, and then 4 inches behind
Oh yeah, you could
another
just string
line.
an entire company out. It's 25 stands of assault rifles and then 12 RPGs per unit at 22
I mean, the
points.
RPG is going to start at that point. Going to start taking a toll, right?
Not against the third gen stuff, Lee's right, because it will have like side armor like 16.
Yeah, just checking. Even challengers have a counter attack of 4+. They hit on threes, they
Yeah, they
counter
do.
attack on
Yeah, they get the
4s.
kills, but they just if the kills aren't going to help you, unless you get 25 of them, and yeah, they're going to break off.
Go with my CO.
What?
The CO's going to join them and give me a free reroll, which makes me effectively 3+.
That's exactly what Dunk's got, which makes him effectively 2+. So thanks for
Ah,
playing.
but I can choose where his CO isn't.
No, but he can choose where his platoon commander is and have his CO within 6 inches of quite a large bubble.
Yeah, but I mean, if we've got 2 objectives, it's quite easy to get them far apart.
But he can have quite a few different commanders.
Let's play it.
Let's get painted and
That's
get them on
the
the board. See what happens.
Yes.
Lee, your BMP report request is building, making, and painting of Duncan's S tanks.
Well, I did part of that.
You didn't paint them though, did you? Bloody hell.
Well, no, it's like, the idea was given to you to put them to a S-tank army. You never actually did. So
I know I've resisted the Swedes. I'm looking at them now. They're very cool.
They're quite big. I was surprised how large they are.
But
Yeah,
you say
they
that,
are.
but they're a lot shorter than most other tanks. And
Is that what
They're squat.
Is that what they call the S tank inferiority complex?
yeah, but
No,
they're
toads.
stocky.
They're stocky. They don't have a turret.
Toad.
The 5 foot boxer variant. You know, they have no neck, so they can't turn their head, but they can really hit pretty hard if you stand in front of them.
I do like them though.
They're
glorious.
And then Darren asked for myself for my BMP report is the bipolar molecular potential of the new house. Now that the hobby is a hobby singularity. Well, I've avoided reaching critical mass by defining 2 separate storage locations in this house. So I have the room of requirement, which is containing all of my scale model kits. I say all, I mean all but the 3 really useful boxes that are still in Guildford. Because I filled up the shelves with scale models, with the 17 models of Spitfires that I have, and the garage, which is currently got most of my other bits and pieces in. So I haven't reduced down the Guildford storage unit facility, and that actually has quite a few boxes just full of models in boxes. So the marriage is okay so far. At some point, they will start migrating down once I've tidied through the life bits and pieces. But yeah, it's sustainable-ish. I think I probably could not buy another model and still not make them all and paint them all before I die, especially at my current rate of production.
Yeah, one of 2 things needs to change. Production needs to up.
Production does need to up, and I'm making steps towards that, which is good. Yeah, but ironically, it's the whole thing of setting things up and tidying up and arranging things so that you can know where all your paints are and know where all your brushes are and know where your models are. Takes time away from actually doing that. So you end up in a bit more of a deficit.
Yeah, that's
so. But no, I'm making slow progress.
I need to win the lottery.
Yeah, that's what Justin says all the time.
Yeah, and then I could just
I mean,
a gentleman of leisure.
At least he plays it. He's one step.
Plays what?
The lottery.
Oh, the
He's
lottery.
one step closer to winning than I am.
Oh yeah, idiot tax is necessity. It's worth the £1.50.
So, yeah, no, I'm enjoying. I enjoyed this airbrush session, even though it didn't go quite to plan, but it worked enough that I got some paint out, which is good.
Oh, I do.
Well, I mean, I'm still using my Neo. I've got all singing, all dancing Iwata Infinity to use, but I'm using my crappy Neo and kind of starting to think of it more like a paintbrush and less like this complex tool of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of
It clicks eventually.
yeah, getting my head around the mixture and going, okay, it's doing this, I need to do that. Okay, it's doing this, I need to do that, and figuring that out and not forcing it to do things when it doesn't want to play ball, and figuring out how I can do the workaround and go, okay, it's got particularly a wet mix, add a bit more paint. It does.
True.
Yeah, no, it's hard. It's difficult, but at least now I've progressed to the point where it doesn't just stop working for no reason, which was where I was at previously. Now I can actually adjust things to make it work and run, and I think most of it is down to the fact that I'm now using paints that are actually quite old, which is galling because it's like, oh god, I need to rebuy all of these paints. What a waste of.
It's a Sisyphean task.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, which is okay because it takes up less space than a model box. Mike Everest, hello, Mike, says early war is all but confirmed. So what sort of unhinged nonsense are you looking forward to? Armoured trains with incomprehensible rules, 40mm anti-tank nonsense from Bofors and 2-pounders, and Italians in tropical helmets on Moto Guzzi for me to please. For me, please, not me too, please.
Form a line.
Oh, whoops. What stuff are you looking forward to? Get your shoot and scoot bingo cards at the ready.
There's one answer.
Gliders, please. Gliders. Can I have gliders now? Where are the gliders? Why aren't there gliders yet?
I want to see SCS and LRG come back.
In early war?
They were in the Burning Empires book or Hellfire.
Right.
Yeah, Burning Empires. But
I guess they
sort of bridged early war and mid war
because they're 41, 42, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But failing that, lots of A13s on fire.
Classy. Dunk.
I'm entirely apathetic about early war.
I am excited to find the thing that makes you excited about early war. I think there'll be something. There'll be something that comes through, and you'll be like, "This is kind of cool," and you'll massage yourself into it.
Is that now the verb?
Yep.
One massages oneself.
One massages. It's a massage with a happy finish.
Yeah, a soft, gentle massage. I don't know. I've never really got excited about it anymore. So
I think you'll go Matilda 2s.
Nope, not a chance.
No,
like zero chance of that.
Impervious tank.
That's so boring. What's
that's the thing. If you could do it, you got to go for lots of light rubbish tanks.
Panhards
is always good. Yeah,
they were fun.
That's just you doing your recce list. I never mean to.
Yeah, it's just.
No, I used to love because the glider assault. All enemy tanks were considered bailed out for the first turn. So essentially, the glider assault was land the glider. You had to survive the glider landing, pass your 3-up skill test to blitz out of the gliders, and then you got the assault. And if you did that, the enemy vehicles counted as being bailed out, which with your pioneers could be quite deadly, but it never quite worked because your glider landing run was between, I think it was 4 inches and 10 inches or something like that. It was quite a long slide. Or you crashed immediately and then had to take infantry saves. Well, passenger saves at a 5+, which meant that half your platoon died, which is normally what had happened. But, the Flandersturm, please. Fallschirmjäger. On a Roll and a Prayer Gaming asks, for any new starter, what advice would you 3 gentlemen give? First of all, step 1, find 3 gentlemen.
Yeah.
For a new starter.
Start small.
Yeah.
People rush in and try and play full-size games when they don't know the rules.
Excellent.
Or anything. So I think
excellent
50
advice.
Point.
Yeah, 50 points games at most.
Yeah.
It's a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
50 points. Pick one unit type and play that unit type against that unit type to start with. So easiest thing is tanks versus tanks. So you're not worrying about infantry, you're not worrying about guns, you're not worrying about artillery. You're doing tanks versus tanks. Get the rules mechanics down for those first. So, movement, concealment, crossing terrain. Oh, wait a minute, I'm half in a... This guy's outside of the terrain, but I'm in the terrain. He's shooting my platoon. Oh my god, he gives away my position, my whole... There's no point half my platoon being in concealment because it doesn't give them anything if the other half can be shot at. Learn those core bits and build unit type by unit type. And don't cross the unit types until you've learnt them all. So
cross streams.
Yeah, do tanks versus tanks, do infantry versus infantry. Gun teams versus gun teams would be a very quick game, but hey. And then start mix and matching, because then you'll start to see the synergies between them. And then spend a week learning how to assault properly.
Oh.
Assaults are really complex, but they can really change the way the game works if you do them right and position models in the right way.
Yeah, I mean, arguably the thing about the game is it's all about setting up the assault, because the assault is what's all clear the objective.
Yeah. And then just have fun.
Always have fun.
Yeah.
Always have fun. Make machine gun noises. That's my number one
advice.
Airplane noises. And it's a game of skill, by which I mean dice are involved. So
there is no skill.
There is no skill. You could do everything right and still lose. Never forget that. Never forget you can do everything right and still lose.
I mean, that's a life lesson in itself.
Exactly. I mean, that is it. That is, there are times when it goes horribly wrong.
And try not to pick the same side. I know if there's a group of you, it's quite hard sometimes, but it's a lot nicer to play red versus blue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the game rewards historical play. Historical play can get a bit stale until you get proper sadomasochist and really into the weeds in terms of...
Yeah, so you mean ETC.
I didn't say it.
But that's what you inferred.
Well, the record show that I did not say that sentence. Thank you.
No, you don't need to.
No, there you go. So, yeah, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Read the rule book as well. I say 99% of the answers are in the rule book. They may not be in the section you think they're in, but they are in there somewhere.
Oh, what was it we had the other day when we were discussing it? And so
it was gun teams. It was
saves for tank riders.
Yep.
Apparently,
really?
I think that's what we discussed about tank rider rules.
Yeah.
And it came up that the actual rules for them were mostly in the movement section.
Yes. Yeah. The rules are all in there somewhere, mainly. Sometimes you get some weird stuff. Lessons from the Front does help with that, but and stick with it. I even after all these years, I still love playing Planes of War. It's version 2 was very much one type of game. The game has evolved and changed. Version 3, version 4, but it's still one of the best games out there, I think. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Well, you would, because we'd make you.
I mean, yes, yeah. I would at some point. I would, appreciate my kidneys back, but
Oh well, Tasty's holding them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an impressive entrapment you guys have done. You've really taken your. I don't think the content I generate is worth quite this level of effort, but hey.
Well, if you're gonna invest,
you're all in. Watch time of day, Mike Robinson. Watch time of day.
The Shield Robinson.
Shield Mrs. Robinson. Why does Battlefront hate the vastly aesthetically superior P-38 Lightning?
Oh yeah.
Because it was used for a war crime, Mike.
Was it?
Yep. So, oh god, Charles Lindbergh, of the first solo crossing of the Atlantic fame, was sent to the Pacific to help as a civilian advisor to help with long-range flying of the patrols of the P-38 in the Pacific Theatre. And he was one of the aviators who came back with the concept of rich of lean rich of minimum leaning of engines. Basically, when you're flying along, you pull back the mixture to reduce the amount of fuel going into the engine. So rich of peak, that's the one. And to the point where the RPM peaks, so it's maximum efficiency, and then you put a little bit more fuel in, just a tiny bit to make it
This is a treat.
as a treat, which actually is more fuel efficient because it means that you're not overstressing the engine, you're not asking too much of it. So he went out, and the advice that he gave about long range flying, at a time where aviation was still, even in the Second World War, it's still pretty new in the form it's doing. If you think it's only been 30 years since the first flight, it's mad. He went out as an advisor, and he was just there to help the military pilots learn things. Only he actually went on a couple of combat missions and has been credited unofficially, but credited from sources that are worthy of having at least 5 kills of Japanese aviators, which is fine. Only he's not part of the military, so technically that's a war crime.
So, could he not be a soldier of fortune at that point?
No, because he wasn't hired for that. He was hired as an advisor for long distance
But
flying.
what about the 18?
No one could find them.
Oh.
That's the second caveat. If you need the sources and you can find them, no one could find them. That's why he was out there. He was looking.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense now.
I love a P-38. It's an incredible aircraft. Although, don't get into a high G rolling motion because the aircraft is designed to kill you, which is fantastic. It had power-assisted ailerons to assist the rate of roll, and there was a weird aerodynamic flaw where if at high speed combined rate of roll with a pitching motion, it locks up the ailerons into a full roll. And
nice.
To get it out of that, you needed to have the equivalent strength of, I think, 2.5 people, like average people. And there's some, Darren, don't Google this, or anyone, don't Google this unless you are morbidly fascinated. There's a horrific, I think in 1998, someone did that in air display at Duxford in a P-38 at 200 feet, and then the aircraft rolled, and it didn't stop rolling, so he ended up upside down and smeared across the airfield at 200-300 miles an hour. But hey, that's me just being morbid now. P-38, great aircraft.
Cannon. It's got a cannon. That's always good.
Lots of cannon, lots of machine guns. Really interesting way of getting into it. There's a really intricate... So at the back of the fuselage pod, there's a really intricate step ladder that you pull out of the back to enable you to climb up onto it. Because it's got tricycle gear, which is very weird for a 1930s design. But it's also quite high off the ground because it's got massive props because it's got huge horsepower engines. So to get into the thing, there's if you Google how to climb into a P-38 Lightning, it's quite interesting. So that's something you can Google. But Battlefront hates it because it's quite hard to cast. It's a lot of resin, so I think they just kind of went, "This is difficult. Let's just get rid of it."
It's hard.
Why
make life hard?
This is hard, but I love mine with the Invasion Stripes. Mike, Watch Time of Day Robinson also asks, what is the most expandable formation? More exactly, what's the formation with the biggest gap between minimum and maximum points?
That sounds like maths. It's far too late in the evening for maths.
Minimum and maximum points. I'm guessing Flames at War.
It's got to be something recce like. Because the minimum buy-in for those is like usually the command and 2 platoons of recce.
I think it's
usually like 5 points or 7 points. Something like that.
But then you could add infantry. You could add all of your universal carriers with Piats, with extra bits.
Might be a German one actually, because some of the label stuff you can camp group things together, can't you, as well?
Yeah, probably something like their on the recce list maybe we have like their
the German recce.
Yeah.
Where you have multiple selections, and you can
go from having a HQ and 2 platoons, like of half track recce. So that's like 6 7, 8 points. Or you can go fully tool it out with, like, the extra stummels, the support guns, infantry wrecking platoon.
Well, I'll tell you what, it probably is actually. Thinking about it, it's probably. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. I thought I cracked it then with the something like the elephants actually, because you have one for the command, and then you have platoons of, but they're platoons of two, not platoons of one.
Is it not going to be, thinking about it for points, is it not going to be something like a US tank formation? Because you can go dirt cheap Shermans with a command card, make them early versions, and go 2 platoons of 3. So 7.
It could be Stuarts.
You could go
It could
from
be Stuarts,
no Stuarts don't really work because you can't get the upgrades. But for Shermans, you can downgrade them to literally 7 Shermans early version, and then if you went the other direction, you could have
Easy
3
8s,
platoons of
jumbo,
5 with easy 8s with jumbos with
tank telephones.
I think
see what you mean.
for points wise, I think it's going to be that. I think it'll be a US tank company with all the trimmings. I want Turkey with all the trimmings. That's an old school cartoon reference for you. 10 points to Gryffindor if anyone can come in and tell me where that's from.
Yeah, prizes to be won.
Prizes
you
to
can
be
show us your
won.
workings.
I'll
Email us at
an entire tank formation. Depending on how many people come back, it will either be 5 Shermans or it'll be a full whack with. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the US Sherman Tank Company. If anyone can beat me, then message and find out. Magos Sockbert, who apparently reads Goonhammer. I think he writes Goonhammer. I think that's an advertisement.
I think he's saying read Goonhammer's instruction because he writes it. Yes.
I know. So read Goonhammer, Magos Sockbert, read Goonhammer. At university and school, the areas of 20th century history I studied included World War I and the Cold War. You may notice a slight gap there. What is the best way for someone to go about learning about World War II to get more out of Flames of War and not humiliate themselves by trying to bring the Japanese Navy to a Tobruk game? Other than the entirely accurate documentaries coming out of Hollywood, California.
What's wrong with you 571?
Netflix has a couple of good documentaries on there at the moment.
World at War.
Let's say track down World at War.
Right. So I was building to World of War. So Netflix has a good couple of chronological documentaries about about Second World War through major battles and political turning points. World at War is a seminal piece of cinematography, which, to be honest, it paints the human picture, but only if you have that skeleton understanding of the the timeline. Put it that way. I'm 3.5 rums in, guys. Come on. I'm trying to give a serious answer here. That's probably only because I'm 3.5 rums in. Because I restarted watching World of War recently because I got an incredible deal, which was all the DVDs for like £7 on a clearance deal from Argos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right. It was on the Isle of Wight, and I had to get my previous housemate Brownie to buy them because he was on the island at the time. But I started rewatching it.
Is that because it's still 1990 on the Isle of Wight?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But World at War jumps around quite a bit because it's telling people's stories as opposed to telling the story of the war. So it's amazing at painting the human picture, but it's not as good as painting the mechanical date timeline of what happened when.
Well, I mean, you can get a good, reasonably good book, I think, as well. I think books are underrated sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Not Max Hastings.
No.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of stuff out there to kind of put through. There's also quite a few good YouTube ones of.
Oh yeah, there are actually. The explainer videos.
Not what's his face. Hitler's last sock brigade. trying to think of his name now. Mike hates him because he just takes a fragment of.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I need to talk about Mark
something or other.
Is it Marky Mark?
Marky
And his
Mark.
Funky Bunch?
Yeah, don't. I mean, that's just a terrible. Don't listen to Marky Mark.
Marky Mark's World War II history. So.
I'd watch it.
Military.
Oh,
I'd recommend Military History Visualized for individual campaigns and missions because no, that's the wrong one. Military History Visualized is the one who goes into like this deep stats dives of actual documentation to find out, what is a Nebelwerfer? What did the German army think the Nebelwerfer was? And all that kind of stuff. The Operations Room on YouTube is a fantastic channel, which goes through all different types of.
And they got a sister channel as well called the Intel Room, which like builds in some of the more the background behind the operations.
Those
few
two
aspects,
are fantastic resources.
I mean, to be honest as well, if you want to start somewhere light, the Flames of War books actually.
I mean, they are
the history
really
bits of
good.
those, they're actually pretty good. Like if you read your way through those, I mean,
not Mark Felton. Mark Felton Productions.
That's it, Mark Felton.
Who releases such as great videos as the Beer Hall Putsch 100th anniversary special.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, I'm on that. Hold on.
Nazi time machine found in Ukraine, 2023.
Oh, he looks like a normal person as well.
Unfortunately, there's some really interesting snippets, but he presents it all as complete fact.
2 million subscribers. Wait, he's not a serious person. He's got 2 stormtroopers in the file.
Well, I mean, he has some interesting factoids that have been kind of completely misrepresented. He kind of like one-way flights to hell, German glider operations, Berlin, 1945. So very clickbaity.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'm on it.
Yeah, I mean, Ukraine's ancient tanks, the T-55, fights again.
So he's not very good at some of the names in these videos. Eva Brown's secret pistol sounds like she had a penis.
It's not a meat pistol.
No. Is that illegal in your pocket?
It's just pleased to see me. So hopefully it helps some people go out there and find some new things they haven't heard about. Also, when you finish listening to our complete back catalogue, that we have ways of making you talk podcast.
Yes.
Very, very interesting about jumping around about different bits and pieces. We need to get them to the barn. Mike, make that happen. Show them some real world gaming.
Not bloody chain command.
Yeah. Reed Goonhammer, Major Sockberg, Reed Goonhammer also asking as a filthy prison colonialist, which Commonwealth force are you most and least impressed with, both for Flames of War and Team Yankee, judged mechanically, aesthetically, or morally? Oh man, this is deep, deep dive.
I mean,
so least impressed with Anzacs because they shouldn't be in Team Yankee. Most impressed with Anzacs because they got a really cool formation.
Such an apologist.
I see what you did there. Commonwealth force you are most and least impressed with. I love my Brit Recce because they're just broken in many different lovely ways. Least impressed with my Brit Recce because they also don't do everything I want them to do.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a shame right now. Like the Anzacs are just relegated to one card, and a Div Cav card as well.
Yeah,
it could be worse.
Yeah,
it could be worse, but it could be a lot better.
I mean, the least impressive for me are South Africans from mid-war because they get a downgrade card and then they go home.
Yeah. Hopefully when they get to the Italian campaign, they've got the actual South African armored divisions and stuff like that, and it might be a bit more.
Yeah.
What's the most impressive?
Canadian Paris?
French Gurkhas?
Well, I think, but as it stands right now, the most impressive is going to be the Canadian infantry in late war with all the Rams and stuff.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Or Canadians in the First World War. In Great War, Canadians and Australians, actually. Australians. I want to go Australians.
Canadians
With
and French,
great-
eh? In Team Yankee.
Oh my god. Is there a B side?
Nope. Same. What you want? You take a request at the Boss Icy Cantina. What's that? Play the same song again. All right, you got it.
Yeah. You are Max Rebo. Was it Max Rebo, Slice Noodles, and what's the third one?
No idea.
Anyway,
Right,
Yeah,
Daryl
sorry,
asks, did Fez ever find his lost Carl Gustav teams? No, I haven't, Daryl. I'm still looking. Do you want to know
Well,
the best?
this point-
Do you want to know the best bit? The literal best bit about this entire story is I am now unsure where the replacement Carl Gustav
Oh my
teams
God.
are.
oh god, it's gonna be Carl Gustav all the way down.
because I don't know where the actual German army is. So not only have I lost the replacement Carl Gustavs, I've lost the entire army because I thought they were upstairs, and they are not. So they are in a really useful box somewhere among my belongings.
Oh dear.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's totally believable, isn't it? Hailstorm81 asks, with the supply issues Battlefront have had over the last few years, alongside the discontinued model lines, what is the one model box blister you wish you'd purchased that you don't own or have enough of?
I wish that all the bloody Anzac infantry from the Free Nations days. 'Cause I can't.
Yeah.
Apparently, having it in stock when they release a new book is vastly too logical.
Yeah, overrated. The Commonwealth Italy models.
Yeah,
They would have been good.
I'm glad Mash grabbed some of those off eBay. That was
I personally, I mean, I've got like one platoon, I think, somewhere, or I might have given that away to one of you or Mike or whatever. But I think I'm one DD tank short of a full platoon of 5.
Yeah, I miss the DDs.
But I maybe, I don't know. I need to go, like, again, I need to find the box and go through it and kind of go, oh, I've got that, I haven't got that kind of thing. I mean, it's positive in that they've shown that they do bring stuff back. Like, I thought all of the D-Day stuff was gone forever, and yet they did bring it back for a short time when they redid the books. So, who knows? Maybe they'll do that as a production run for generate sales of things going forward. Duncan, is there anything you've not got? Wish you had?
Yeah. I mean, DDs are annoying because there's not really a good alternative either.
No.
Like, pig ones look like they've been sculpted out of soap. There's not really, no one's 3D printed any yet that I can fathom. I mean, it would be World War II stuff because they brought back, they brought back the the H39s. I don't miss them. I'm trying to think now. Probably not at the moment.
We are obsessive collectors, so.
I mean, yeah. There'll be something that pops up and you just think, oh, God, why is that? I think DD tanks are really irritating because I would like some from my 52nd Lowland Division. Yeah, that's really irritating. And it was actually quite irritating with the ducks and stuff going out as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything. It's any metal infantry. There we go.
Yeah.
The old metal infantry sculpts. Because I was surprised they brought back the Volkswagen and the HJ, but I suppose they didn't really have any choice from that.
No.
Yeah.
Carl Stockperson asks, what are the small details on models that you always make sure to paint carefully because they have a disproportionate impact on how the model looks as a whole? For me, it's the tools attached to the side of tanks. Faces, bases, something and something, bro.
Well, the funny thing is, I think someone commented on that in that a lot of those tools and things were overpainted.
They were, yes.
Almost always. But the thing is, if you don't do it, it just doesn't look right.
It looks stupid.
Yeah.
It looks stupid if you don't do it. Yeah, faces and hands.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Because in a sea of khaki, it does make a difference.
So for me, for tank models, it is a mixture of burnt umber and black on the tank tracks and shading, because that does tank tracks and mud, and then pick out machine gun barrels and exhausts. Because I think that those two things kind of make the model look a lot more, machine gun barrels, exhausts, and spare tank tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And then the commander in the top, and you're pretty much there. I mean, like, what else are you gonna want other than to go and deal with the detail, the weathering and shading and chipping and all that kind of stuff? It makes it
Markings,
markings,
kind of
and
vision
like
blocks.
if you really want to, yes, but like you say, there's a tabletop ready. There's a couple of bits that
hides a lot of things.
Yeah. So for me, it's tracks and machine gun barrels and exhaust stubs. But faces base is something. Panzerleer asks, a friend of mine is keen to play as Japan in Team Yankee. Whilst they're not a NATO nation, they are NATO-like. The Type 90 is certainly comparable to the Leo 2A4, and its predecessor, the Type 74, is comparable to an M60. Do you think there will be / should be a Far East theatre for Team Yankee? And if not, or if not yet, which NATO nation would you recommend as a good counts as?
It's kind of what we were saying about earlier, about having it Pacific, North Korea, South Korea, Japan as a extra.
Yeah, it needs to happen. That's a whole slew of awesome models.
Who would they fight?
Chinese.
Well, North Korea versus South Korea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Soviet Union, who occupy parts of the Japanese island chain, inviting into Japan. In China's a wild card. Obviously, in the 80s, they're kind of like Western aligned.
You just put them up against Australia.
Yeah.
And perhaps New Guinea.
Papal New Guinea.
Papal New Guinea.
Because the Pope in.
Papal New Guinea. Polynesian Canoe Wars. Yeah, no, I think it's coming, if I'm honest. I think at some point they'll.
I mean, obviously, we're going to be getting the next year preview video, hopefully, for Battlefront sometime next few months.
The Christmas gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. So we'll find out what's going to come, because, like I say, it's going to be early war Pacific, but we don't know anything about what next year's Team Yankee is going to be. If any, maybe there's going to be nothing. Maybe that's it for Team Yankee. It's all done.
Battlefront folds, go home. Petatherin asks, what is the current late war meta?
No idea.
School kids with Panzerfaust.
No, that can't be, because that's what I've got.
It must be. I can't get any hit the Jurgen for love and money from Battlefront. So clearly,
it's going to be minimal reserve Berlin German lists until the point where everyone realizes that there is a solid counter to that in the form of land mattresses and other salvo template weapons. And they kind of go, actually, that does kind of mess them up because they're hit on not a lot and they have crap morale and they never unpin. And oh God, that's a terrible idea. Everything dies. So it's dangerous because you'll end up, because they have integral AT in terms of Panzerfaust Limited 2, you'll end up with tank forces not having much of an answer. But then you'll start seeing things like Calliopes, because all of a sudden the salvo template is worth its weight in gold because it's hitting 4 or 5 platoons. Conversely, that does mean that you'll end up with more timeouts, I think, because people have so much crap on the board and it takes so long to figure out a artillery salvo, that you'll kind of go, this isn't good. However, I think from my point of view in tournament play, if that does start to happen, I'll either figure out a way of denoting which team is getting hit by what, or just start batch rolling. And I don't care if I don't kill the Piet, or I don't care if I don't kill the machine gun. I just want to kill numbers of teams as quickly as possible. Because a lot of their the only thing that those metas can do is sit and wait.
But what are they doing? Defending all the time?
Yeah. They're defending, and then they're having like a platoon of King Tigers just turn up and mess up your day because they can have so much stuff on the board.
Oh.
It's pretty powerful. The stuff that I've seen is pretty good, and then you've got the weird and wacky stuff in terms of the trained teams that have some loopholes in terms of deployment that haven't been closed quite yet. But for me, that's kind of where it's gone at the moment. Obviously, next year, Late War is ETC, so we'll see what cheese they can come up with. It breaks my heart. But it's evolving, it's changing. That's my point of view. You got any input, boys?
I don't know what a meta is.
Isn't it what they used to call Facebook?
No, that's what Facebook's holding company's now called. Is it metaverse? Is it augmented reality?
I think
I'm so isolated from Meta by a barn. I am impossible to really put any judgment on this.
Yeah, also, what does meta mean? Like, does it mean competitive meta or just?
I mean, yeah, I don't think you're talking about meta if you're not talking about competitive, because it's kind of, if you didn't care about it, your meta is whatever you and your friend are playing with at the time.
Yeah, H39 tanks, Romanian H39 tanks with AT4.
Oh, I love that. We just had we had 2 new players sign up at the Guildford Games Club who've been playing 40k against each other, and they're like, "Yeah, we kind of got to the point where we've kind of got perfect matches for each other's army." And then they played like one game at the club and went, "Oh God, we have no answer for everyone else's." They were like, "Yeah, we're really happy we know how to play each other's armies." Like, what are these Tyranids? Oh my God, they're eating me. Oh God, they're not stopping. Oh, they're still going. Yeah. Awesome. James Clark asks, I currently run Russians in Team Yankee. Having used artillery and then found them underwhelming, can you convince me that they are worth taking in lists?
Yes.
Play Mike's Marines and then tell me that artillery isn't worth its weight in gold.
You want a tie battery of 6 tosses. That's what you need.
Is that the toss extended range?
It is.
I would not leave home without a battery of carnations or nonas from doing BDV. It's just
you need
like
something.
There's smoke for a start.
Yeah.
For me.
Generally, you're playing. Some missions have pre-arranged markers, so if you can work out where the enemy's likely to be, you can have that ranged in.
Yeah. Or you can,
I think,
or conversely, you can guarantee where the enemy isn't going to deploy.
Yeah.
You can say, "I want the hole here," and put a
Correct.
template there.
Another thing you can think of is that with the artillery, ranging in with smoke does not incur a penalty for there being terrain under the area.
Yes.
It's just a basic skill tech. And if you're an observer, always take an observer with the Russians.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. That goes in. Another thing that always gets overlooked, and I don't see often, is the Hurricane rocket launcher.
Yeah, or the BM-21.
Yeah, because the Hurricane's got minelets, and there's no NATO tank that has a mine clearing device.
Yeah.
So you can cause a bit of havoc with those things against the NATO force.
I still like the BM-21 just for the big pipe play again. It's like 4 points in the Soviet list. So, if you are worried about like British infantry or something like that coming and turning up.
Yeah. Yeah, so certainly don't leave home without the carnations, because generally in formation.
I mean, if you're playing against guys who's got nothing but tanks, then yes, you'll find it severely lacking, other than a smoke bombardment, which they could have a counter for with IR and thermal visions and stuff like that.
Well, thermal ignores penalty, but it doesn't ignore that range limitations.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's generally not the most expensive thing in the world. I wouldn't go super heavy on it, but
no, if you're spending more than 10 points, you've probably done it wrong.
Yeah, unless you're playing a scenario you're going up against an infantry company,
and then you take lots of it.
Take all of it, and then
Like, someone's bringing up a Saj army.
No one's doing that. Shh.
All right. That is
one more. Someone.
One more? No, I thought that was the end.
There's one last Discord question, wasn't there?
Was there? Did you put it in there?
From
Did you sneak
Magus,
it in?
Yeah, it should have been one from the Discord. Sorry, from the Patreon page, and one from Discord. Yeah, there is. Just blow it.
Oh, dude, I thought I was safe. Again, Major Sockbert getting his money's worth. How many people do your Flames of War and Team Yankee 2-day events normally get? What makes a good number for you? As many as possible.
How many were nationals?
It was like 32. It was a large amount.
Yeah, for version 4 days. Yeah,
Especially, I mean, it's solid with it being mid-war.
Mhm.
And a lot of those people were new, which was amazing. And a lot of people had a great time, which is also amazing.
Yeah. And Warfare has been what? Previously, it's been about 20 people.
Yeah, 20, 25.
Yeah.
You know,
So anything up to, I think 32 is ideal. If you can get that high. 24, lovely.
Yeah, but the reassuring thing is a lot of those faces at the Nationals were new players. So it's new people are finding the game, are coming in.
And are going to tournaments, which is, yeah.
And are going to tournaments.
Which is great.
And then getting beaten around the head with L6s. Sorry.
And never come back to tournaments ever again. Yeah,
and then never come back. The game dies, and sad fairs.
But at least you had your 3rd place.
But at least I got my 3rd place through gritted teeth. That is the last one, right?
That is the last one.
There we go. Yes, we're free finally.
Got there in the end.
Yay! Thank you, everyone, for submitting such good questions.
And sorry it took us so long to get around to.
Yeah. We should do a bit of a deeper dive on some of those. It's quite interesting. I quite like the min-max points thing.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
It'll be you and whose army.
Yeah.
Nothing but jumbos. Jumbos as far as I can see. Events then. This weekend is Warfare, so you would have not heard this in time to go. Sorry, it's a bit late. 2nd and 3rd of December. A World in Flames 2. It's the Flames of War Late War at Tabletop Republic in High Wycombe. 171 points Late War. At the same weekend, 2nd and 3rd, is the Iberian Tournament, which is the Flames of War Late War version 4 in Madrid, España. January 13th is Team Yankee in Chicagoland. Details to be confirmed on that one. Then we have the Tabletop Republic Team Yankee game, the Showdown of Steel, January 20th, which is 95 points, which is totally not why I've written a 95-point French-Canadian list at all.
Or why I'm trying to busily do Anzacs and stuff.
But, yep, 95 points. The Icelandic Nationals 2024 is Operation Polar Bear 7 in
Fully booked.
Reykjavik. Fully booked, sold out. Sorry. Better luck next time, kids. Yeah, we're not going, which is sad. 8th and 9th of June 2024 is the Barn Bash 80th Day Patron event. So, super excited for that. Going to get everything sorted out.
Yeah. Like to get those to Brookston.
Yep, the Tobruk's, the gliders, the beach assault craft, the D-Day tanks, all the bunkers. It's going to look amazing. June. That's only 7 months away. Oh my God.
That's not far.
7 months away this weekend. Oh God. All right, shall we scoot and shoot?
Well, just before we do, obviously next episode is 100.
Oh my God.
And we did say we were looking at doing an end of year patron army deal draw.
Yes.
So so I think we're going to align those two events up. So if you want to be in a chance to win one of the Battlefront box army deals, then sign up to be a patron now, and we will do a draw on the 100th episode.
But I need all 7 of mine that I've got in the garage unopened.
Oh man,
You're limited to one stocks may last. What in Eddie's garage? Yeah. No, it will be a new one off the shelf. What we'll do is we'll basically, you let us know what you want, and we'll work out a voucher for your nearest store or something like that.
That's very kind of us.
We'll work out logistics of it. No, it's all right. No, we worked out we worked out what we need to pay for the Zencast, what we need to pay for SoundCloud, and we've got
I need another 3 storage units. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
oh my goodness.
But yes. But so yeah, if you want to be in a chance of that, then sign up now, and obviously make sure you're a patron when we can run to episode 100, which
That's
hopefully will be either later this month or early next month.
Well, it's going to be after Warfare and my glorious victory. I'll be
Correct.
chomping at the bit to tell everyone about how my SS King Tigers are amazing. Definitely didn't die to cross checks.
Yeah.
And side shots from Shermans.
So yeah. Yeah, so shoot scoot. So what we gonna scoot us today, boys?
I reckon we should do 5+ just to throw Darren's stats off even more.
5+. I can do 5+. That's not a problem. See, 6. This is why I need to play Reluctant Forces. I would be so much better with Reluctant Army.
the Berlin force that never ever falls back ever.
Yeah.
Just endless sixes.
Fearless Tigers will reroll. Yeah, I'll fail that and gain a
Yeah.
week. But Reluctant Tigers.
I know you want the Folks Grenadiers, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I should do.
Month's worth of Tuesday with snow camo. Job done.
Mhm.
An assault rifle Panzerfaust, the most overcosted units in the world.
God, yeah. Always were as well. Version 3 are expensive.
Always
Much better
terrible.
than version
Always terribly expensive. Riding on tigers. Oh dear. The Armored Trait Rifle podcast you've been listening to was Shoot and Scoot, Flames of War podcast, and the team at Breakthrough Assault.co.uk. It's Woody Westwall from Benefit Hobbies, Dice of War, Frontline Terrain, and the Poutine List of Doom.
Poutine.
But-
Putin?
Better than
Poutine.
Putang.
Poutine. There's many things this list is, but too goddamn buku is not one of them.
Can you call your list the Putin's cheeks?
Putin's cheeks.
Yeah, there's something going on about how his cheeks look different. Someone thinks he's got augmented surgery on his cheeks or something.
Cheek implants.
Yeah,
Well,
so he looks more
Probably one
gerbil.
of those bloody doubles. That's,
No, it's just one of the. It's the world's worst new addition to the cheeky girls.
Oh god.